spread among police officers in the Princestown area. And in the Ministry of Health's latest update on COVID-19 cases, as at August 2nd, 2 additional persons have been tested positive for the ongoing virus. One is a primary contact of a recent positive COVID-19 patient, and the other is pending epidemiological investigation. All established protocols have been implemented. The number of samples submitted to CALFA and UWI site for testing stands at 8,514. Number of positive tested samples, 182. Number of patients discharged, 132. Number of deaths still stands at 8. The Ministry of Health reminds the public that they must adhere to the new normal recommendations and practice all health protocols. And out of COVID-19 into crime news. The body of an Arouca man was found down a precipice in Blancheshire on Saturday afternoon. The deceased has been identified as Barry Boxill of Bourne Gardens, Arouca. According to police reports, around 4 p.m. on Saturday, officers received information that the body of a man had been seen in a patch of grass down a precipice of Blancheshire's Road near an area known as Christophine Field. A team of officers from the Northern Division and the Homicide Bureau responded with the aid of the Trinidad and Tobago Defence Force and removed the body, which was an estimated 50 feet off the roadway. However, the body was said to have bore marks of violence, including wounds to the head. An autopsy was ordered to confirm the cause of death. And as we move to news regionally in Guyana with elections, the Guyana Elections Commission declared its new elected president, Mohamed Irfan Ali, yesterday, following the submission of the report of the March 2nd general and regional elections by the Chief Elections Officer to the Commission. The declaration was made by Chief Elections Officer retired Justice Claudette Singh after she received the report from CEO Keith Lowenfield. The report of the CEO was based on data from the National Recount. And in an update, the People's Progressive Party and Civic obtained 33 seats, while a Partnership for National Unity and Alliance for Change coalition obtained 31 seats, and the small parties also picked up a seat. Lowenfield's report stated that he does not believe that the declaration reflects the will of the people, and it was based on the numbers which came out in the recount process. The new elected president, 40-year-old Ali, is a former Minister of Housing under the previous PPP and C administration and was elected president candidate of the PPP and C in January 2019. And as we switch across the globe internationally, according to a BBC report on coronavirus update, Iran has reported its highest daily number of infections in nearly 1 month, with cases exceeding 2,600, according to the country's health ministry yesterday. The death toll in Latin America from the novel coronavirus has surpassed 200,000 after Peru reported another 191 deaths from the pandemic. The Philippines has reported 5,032 additional COVID-19 cases, its largest single-day increase on record, taking the country's confirmed cases to 103,185. And on to the weather forecast. Today we'll experience cloudy periods during the early morning with light to moderate showers in varying areas. There is a medium to high chance of a heavy shower or thunderstorm. Conditions can improve as the day progresses, but with a light or moderate shower in a few areas and a medium chance of an afternoon thunderstorm. In the event of a heavy shower thunderstorm, winds can become gusty and street or flash flooding is likely in areas so prone. Seas will be slight to moderate, with waves 1.5 meters in open waters and less than 1 meter in sheltered areas. High tides at 4:35 p.m., low tides at 10:04 a.m. and 10:08 p.m., sunset at 6:28 p.m., Temperatures are currently 25 degrees and expected to reach a high of 32 degrees as the day progresses. And that brings us to the end of the 6 a.m. news on U97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. Join us at 7 a.m. for more news. I am Uma Ratan Singh, wishing you a safe and blessed day and week ahead, reminding everyone to please exercise your health protocols to save your life and your loved ones.
That was Major News to the Hour, brought to you by Crystal Beverages Company, Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Lisha Limited, and the Trinidad and Tobago News Day.
You can now listen to business news Monday to Fridays at 5 p.m. Get updated on all the latest business developments. Tune in to U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio, where we keep you informed, educated, and entertained. U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio is now on Facebook. Like us, follow, and share our page. We'll be sharing the latest news, tips, and much more. You can also view what's happening in our studio. Find us on YouTube and subscribe to our channel at RCL U97.5.
U97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio will be bringing you coverage of Election Day 2020. Look out for live capsule reports throughout the day as you make your way to the polls. Then you can join our live panel discussion from 8 p.m. as we bring to you the election results. Exclusive on U97.5 FM.
Well, indeed, and a very good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and thank you very much for choosing 975 FM Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. I am Kenrick Jaggernaut, welcoming you to today's edition of the morning program, You Talk on 97.5. At this time, which is just about 11 minutes past the hour of 6 o'clock, we take today's daily horoscope with Uma Ratan Singh.
Welcome to the airwaves of U97.5 FM Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. We are coming to you live from number 42 Exchange Lot Scoville, and you can catch us on YouTube at RCL U97.5 and Facebook. It's a great morning to wake up to another day of life and blessings to serve your purpose. Take a moment and prepare yourself to begin this day with peace, love, and positive energies. Let U97.5 FM be your companion throughout the day and night as we bring to your homes, vehicles, offices, and hearts great programming throughout the day with news, your daily horoscope, talk shows, recipes, musical entertainment, and much more. It's a blessed and positive morning as we are getting ready to face the day. I am Uma Ratan Singh and welcome to your daily horoscope, brought to you with the kind compliments of Jyoti's Puja Store of Main Road, Chase Village, for all your puja needs. Let's see what the stars have in store for you today, Monday, 3rd August 2020. Aries, you are confident today, especially at work. You're in a sensible frame of mind, and this helps you to plan ahead. This positive influence might also affect your attitude about your health today. It might also affect your dealings with a pet. Taurus, This is a perfect day to plan a vacation or a social event for the future. And yes, the future could be tonight. Someone older might have good advice for you. Whatever you attempt, you will probably pull it off because the support that you need will be there. Gemini, this is a good day for a serious discussion with an older family member, perhaps a parent. They might have good advice for you. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You might also make some future plans regarding housing or improving where you live. Cancer, this is an excellent day to plan the future because you have a solid vision of things, and yet at the same time you are optimistic. This means there is a nice balance between realism and what you hope is still possible. Write down your ideas or share them with someone. Leo, business and commerce will flow well today because for the most part, people are preserving, disciplined and practical. Nevertheless, there is a high note of optimism that pervades everything you do, which will make you ready to take a chance. Virgo, today the moon is in your sign dancing with both Saturn and Jupiter. This gives you a nice balance between grounded realism and hope. This allows you to dream big, but at the same time, consider what is actually doable. As an earth sign, you are concerned with doables. Libra, you're a social sign, and this week has been a social week. However, a totally different influence coming in from left field will make you want to keep a low profile today. You might want to watch everything from the wings. It's your call. Scorpio, you're a high vis and out there flying your colors. Today, an important conversation with a female friend, possibly someone older, could be significant and helpful for you. This person might encourage you to dream big and expect more for yourself. Why not? Sagittarius, today you want to shake things up a little because you want adventure and a change of scenery. Therefore, do something different. Go someplace where you've never been before. Talk to people from other backgrounds. Go out of your way to learn something new. Capricorn, today you want to shake things up a little because you want adventure or change of scenery. Aquarius, a gaggle of planets opposite your sign continues to increase your focus on partnerships and close friends. However, today you are also concerned with shared property taxes, debts, and the wealth or spending habits of your partner. Get the facts first. Pisces, a conversation with a partner or close friend will be beneficial for you today because they will either have advice for you or they will encourage you or both. Someone will give you some steady, practical, down-to-it input, but whatever they say will not create an obstacle. Capricorn, it's a wonderful day to make plans ahead. For you never know what events are coming up. Keep on the positive side and think clearly before putting your thoughts into action. And that's your horoscope for today, brought to you with the kind compliments of Jyoti's Puja Store of Main Road, Chase Village, for all your puja needs. And if it's your birthday today, happy birthday to you from the management and staff of U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. And a very happy and blessed birthday to me. I am thankful for my great day today. And if it's your anniversary, happy blessed anniversary. And your quote for today: don't be weak to failure. Pull yourself together, gather your strength, and look ahead. There's always a master plan. Find it, apply it, and walk with your head high, knowing that failure was meant to give you strength and a new direction. Thank you for joining me for your daily horoscope. I am Uma Ratan Singh, wishing you a safe, blessed, and positive day and week ahead. And I wish all the brothers of the nation Raksha Bandhan greetings, and to our very own Mr. Gaya Prasad and Mr. Rampasad Singh, Mr. Singh, and of course I'm here with Kenrick this morning and Mr. Parasram. So much blessings to you all from myself and all the hardworking ladies of U97. Stay tuned for U97 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio for great programming throughout the day. Up next is You Talk with Kenrick Jagannath.
Well, thank you very much, Uma, for today's horoscope. And on behalf of the management and staff and all of us here at 97.5 FM Hot Like Pepper, let me extend warm birthday greetings to you. Hope and trust that you have a wonderful day. And thank you very much on behalf of all of the guys here at 97.5 for wishing us Raksha Bandhan. And yes, those of you who can catch us now on YouTube and on Facebook, well, yeah, Uma is tying for me a Raksha this morning. Thank you very much, Uma, a very beautiful and lovely person indeed.
And I wish you all the best of God's blessings.
Thank you very much, yes. Folks, you're with 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. Note that we are broadcasting to you live from Couva in central Trinidad, the energy capital. Yes, the energy capital. Today, of course, we will continue to look at some of the issues of the day, the challenges facing us here in Trinidad and Tobago. And yes, give you an opportunity to share your thoughts and to share your views with us. It's a very cool a Monday morning here in central Trinidad. The sun is trying to peek out at this time. So stay with us as we continue with a great programming during the course of the day. Let's go to some commercials here this morning and thank Jyoti's Puja Store for partnering with us.
Jyoti's Puja Store is your one-stop puja store for all puja, wedding and cremation materials. Also available books, mithai and murtis made to order. Visit Jyoti's Puja Store today and be greeted with the kindest and most courteous staff with best prices and secured parking. Jyoti's Puja Store located at 542 Southern Main Road, Chase Village, Shigwanas. Contact 671-3849.
You can now listen to business news Monday to Fridays at 5 p.m. Get updated on all the latest business developments. Tune in to U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio, where we keep you informed, educated, and entertained. U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio is now on Facebook. Like us, follow, and share our page. We'll be sharing the latest news, tips, and much more. You can also view what's happening in our studio. Find us on YouTube and subscribe to our channel at RCL U975.
You 97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio will be bringing you coverage of Election Day 2020. Look out for live capsule reports throughout the day as you make your way to the polls. Then you can join our live panel discussion from 8 p.m. as we bring to you the election results. Exclusive on U97.5 FM.
Only the people can save the people. This is the mantra of the National Solidarity Assembly. Join its political leader and president of the All Trinidad General Workers Trade Union, Nirvan Maharaj, as he invites you to join these organizations and other top executives on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper for 2 one-hour monthly features as they discuss the concerns and challenges facing the working class of this country, tackling the issues, generating bold talk, finding solutions, bringing the workers' agenda to the front burner, and providing a new vehicle. That's the NSA's mission. Be part of this informative panel discussion with operatives from the NSA. Only happening here on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper.
Yes, indeed, and a very good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and thank you very much for choosing 97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio as your medium of choice. I am Kenrick Jaggernaut, and yes, I'll be taking you until the hour of 9 this morning, engaging you in discussion as we bring to you into your homes and into your vehicles and wherever you are hearing this broadcast, the issues of the day. Note that we are broadcasting to you live from Couva in central Trinidad, the energy capital. Let me say a very special good morning to all of our neighbors here at Exchange Lots in Couva, especially to all those hardworking fire officers, the members of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service attached to the Couva Police Station, all the market vendors, the maxi taxi drivers, the taxi drivers. Good morning and welcome to today's edition of the morning program. Let me say a very special good morning to our international audience streaming live with us. A good morning to all those good folks there at North Carolina, to our large audience in New York and Canada. Thank you very much for being with us here this morning and for staying with the 975 FM Hot Like Pepper family. Note that you can catch us live on YouTube at RCL U975, and you can also catch us on Facebook, and those are some of the mediums by which you can catch us live this morning. I am Kenrick Jaggernaut. Let's take a look now at what are some of the major stories as published in today's edition of the Newsday newspaper. Well, today it's a Monday, August 3rd. Yes, 7 more days again for the general election of 2020. The decision. That's the decision you have to make, my friends, as to who you want to see govern the country for the next 5 years. But I have a caller here on the line. Let me take this caller on the line first. A very special good morning to you, friend. Good morning and welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Good morning, Kenrick. Raksha Bandhan to all brothers in Trinidad and Tobago, every single one.
Well, I thought you guys were showing the flood, boy.
No. Kenrick, I have some breaking news for you.
What's the breaking news, Larry?
Right now I'm heading up to Macoya intersection here, right over only the walkover by the Spiritual Baptist School. The accident is I'm seeing the ambulance, the police, the jaws of life is being used. Right now the fire attendants is trying to get the driver out of that vehicle. It's a real bad accident, so people coming from the west heading into Port of Spain from Macoya coming down is back-to-back traffic, and who heading to the east is Mako traffic. The only one fire attender, one ambulance, and 2 police vehicles, and it's like a 3-car accident. So this is taking place right now as we speak, right underneath the walkover by the Spiritual Baptist Church, not too far from the Macoya intersection. All right?
Okay, from where you are, Larry, can you state to us whether there are any fatalities thus far?
Well, Kenrick, I now pull up here, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to come out the vehicle, see if I get some pictures to send to you on WhatsApp. and you can actually see what I'm talking about.
All right, so the accident is at the Makoya intersection.
Right, only the walkover, Kenrick. Only the walkover that goes to the Spiritual Baptist School. Right underneath the walkover itself. Yes, right underneath.
A 3-car smash up, yes?
Yeah. I'm going to take some pictures and send for you on WhatsApp so you can see it and you can explain to the listeners on the airwaves.
All right, Larry. Well, thank you very much for bringing us up to speed as to that incident. Thank you very much. Yeah, well, that's our good friend there, Larry Sami, filing a report this morning. An accident at Makoya, just at the walkover. According to Larry, it's a 3-car smash-up. No traffic gridlock this morning. So those of you who are heading into west or heading east, well, please, you can use alternative avenues or routes rather to get to your destination this morning. Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Jagannath.
And good morning to you, dear.
I hope you had a pleasant weekend.
Well, yeah, it was very tiring indeed, covering all of the
know.
politics of the day. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I understand. Mr. Jagannath, I'm not talking politics this morning. I want to maybe next time. What I need, if you can tell me, how can I address a problem with noise pollution?
And what area are you calling from?
I'm from Duncan Village. Let me tell you, Church Street, Duncan Village.
Okay, I know the place pretty well. I'm from Laramie.
I know. I always listen to you when in the radio and you say you know the area very well.
Yes.
I live on Church Street, Duncan Village. There's someone who lives to the back of me in the Mendoza extension there. The gentleman is there. Now, he's not a villager to say they know it. He moved in a couple of years. He had bought the property, whatnot. Mr. Kenrick, this man, well, he's a nuisance and everybody know him. What he did, oh my, Mr. Jagannath, what he did, he cleaned, listen to me, he cleaned his place because he have tenants in the place and he encroaching in state land, billing place for Venezuelan. He had this Venezuelan guy cleaning the place and they dump all the rubbish in the back drain, which is government drain. And all I spoke to him about it and I told him, I said, what you doing? Well, that was it. You know how people like to curse in this country. And curse me out in the worst way, Mr. Kenrick. But the worst thing about it, he told one of the residents that he'll blow me out with noise. Well, since Friday from 10 o'clock, Mr. Jagannath is noise. He put on his radio, and he have it. I made reports to the police station Saturday morning too. I called even this morning up to 5 o'clock. After 5, I called the police and nobody's not doing anything.
The police responded. Have the police spoke to him or anything?
No, Mr. Kenrick. And his noise is bother. Look, last night I couldn't take it.
Yeah, but the thing about it, the senior superintendent in San Fernando, Wayne. But his last name escaped me now, but I'll get it for you. Let me see if I get it here. Yeah, Wayne is the senior officer in San Fernando, and he's from the Laramie area.
Okay, and I spoke to them. I explained. Even after one this morning I was crying, I had to start to cry to the officer. Presently, I am alone because the children out and with this COVID. I was talking to my daughter in Australia, and she was hearing the noise. She's saying, "Ma, look at the noise here." It cursed me in the worst way. The spouse passed away a couple of years, so for now the children are abroad and whatnot and things, so I have to be here. It's not, we live good in this community, and this man is a nuisance, Mr. I called 4 reports I make. Mr. Jagannath is really disgusting with these people.
And you made these reports to what station? The San Fernando police station?
Yes, San Fernando.
Yeah, but there's a police post right at the gas station there in the Laramie area.
No, I'm Duncan Village.
Yeah, well, I know the area pretty well.
Yeah.
All right, here what I'll do, ma'am. I'll try to get in touch with the Southern Division Senior Superintendent, Wayne Mohammed. He knows me pretty well, and see if he can address your situation for you,
all
okay?
Right.
In the absence of that, just see if you can assemble some of your neighbors together and talk to the gentleman.
They're all afraid of him because how he just curse and get on.
Yeah, but and if he's making any threats to you, ma'am, as you would have claimed, well, then you need to take it to the police, make a report to the police.
I plan to do that.
And let the police deal with it.
Because he say he know people in high places.
Really? Okay, well then
it's so annoying. Mr. Kenrick, I don't like this kind of thing. My children are teachers and all this thing. I don't want to be involved in this kind of low-down thing. Saturday night was politics whole night.
Okay. Ma'am, hear what I want you to do for me. Call me after the 9 o'clock hour. I'll give you my number.
Yes, please.
At 731-4382.
Call it again,
7314382.
7314382.
382.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. Yeah, I mean, well, this is the way some people have a tendency to behave, you know. They feel as though they are untouchable. And here it is. Let me just paraphrase what the woman would have told me this morning. She's from Duncan Village, and a resident in the area or close to her is creating a nuisance with all sort of noise and what have you. The woman is claiming that she would have reported the matter 4 times to the police officers there at the San Fernando police station, and no one has visited or tried to contact the gentleman to have any sort of discussion with him. To me, that is unacceptable. So I'm calling out the Southern Division Senior Superintendent, Wayne Mohammed, who is also from the Laramie area, to actually investigate this matter, have a conversation with the man. Mr. Mohammed, if you are listening to me this morning, I know that your colleagues listen to this program. Yeah, you know me pretty well. Investigate this matter, see if you can address the issue, and bring some sort of sanity to the situation. I mean, it is unacceptable if what the woman is telling me is the truth, and I'm not doubting her veracity this morning. Extend a helping hand to her this morning. You know, and this is what goes on in our country. You know, people feel they are untouchable because they have some sort of clout within society or among people. They can get away with anything, do anything. Come on, Mr. Man, if you are hearing me this morning, please, you know, be a responsible citizen this morning. Be a responsible citizen. All right, that's all I'm saying to you here. All right, so let's look at some of the stories as published in today's edition of the Newsday. But I have some of these callers coming through this morning. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 95.
Good morning. I want to say Shivak Abandon to all brothers in this country. And they have a blessed and pleasant day. Can you, the gentleman that doing this woman this thing, can you know he was in America? They don't relocate to another area already, can we? If he was in America, they don't send in another area already till they can be doing people that cannot nasty wicked thing, can we?
No, but
people not like doing people that can they're not nice.
No, but the woman said the crux of the matter is this. The woman said she would have made a report to the police officers on 4 separate occasions, and thus far they would have failed to act.
But that can a man can the police in the country they're not easy, can you keep moving people in high places and pressure so man he move you what you want to get out or buy out your property and let you go. Because that's what they're doing, can they're wicked.
Well, this is why I'm calling out Senior Superintendent in charge of the San Fernando area, Wayne Mohammed, to look at the issue this morning.
Yes, Kendrick, that is why you're on the radio. Kendrick, as I wake up in the morning, come like, I listen to our gospel in the morning, Kendrick, and you come like food for me, no, Kendrick, I listen to what's going on in the country, no, Kendrick. Kendrick, my name is David Sammy, Larry Sammy, small brother.
Yeah, I remember you, my friend.
Have a blessed and pleasant day, Kendrick, and may the Lord God and bless this woman, and they should get you in life, Kendrick. Have a blessed day.
All right, well, thank you very much, Frank, for your thoughts and for your thoughts with us this morning. I mean, it is unacceptable. People cannot behave in the country like that. What examples are you setting for the younger people in your area? Come on, be responsible this morning. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Right, Kenrick, a little update on that accident I just talked to you about.
Yeah, go ahead, Larry. What's up?
I'll send you a video and some pictures on your WhatsApp there, but according to one of the fire officials, one of the gentlemen who is trapped in the vehicle, his 2 foot is broken, and they are trying very, very hard to get him out of the vehicle with the jaws of life. And that traffic, Kenrick, is right back up passing Omera Industrial Estate intersection.
No, but there are no fatalities.
No fatalities, Kenrick. No fatalities. It's a red van Maxi Taxi 25-seater, a Mitsubishi Lancer, and a white Honda Civic.
And what's the nature of the injuries to those involved? Can you say?
Well, according to the fire official, real bad injuries. Okay. Thank God for no deaths to add up to our fatality on the road. So thank God that nobody has died this month.
All right,
but drivers need to be careful. But Kenrick, before I leave you, COVID cases in this country is rising.
182, my information tells me.
Kenrick, I don't want to bash people, but I was watching the both sides of the campaign trail. And these leaders who want to be leaders in this country, those who want to be an MP, they're wearing the mask under the chin, some of them right on top of their forehead. And they have their supporters in the same manner. Kenrick, I wouldn't feel sorry for people after they get COVID in it. You know why, Kenrick? I pay tax, you pay taxes. My money I have to spend to see about them.
Well, maybe the conversation should start, Larry, whether the government of the day should make it mandatory.
Kenrick, I've been asking for that, Kenrick. Kenrick, I've been begging for that. I love life. I love to help people. But when I begging people to wear a mask and they're cussing me and hear what's going on, when they get sick, I wouldn't feel sorry for them, Kenrick. Did you hear Africa has 500,000 cases? Mm-hmm. Africa, I listened to BBC World News this morning. Africa have 500,000 cases. Kenrick, you know when we'll get serious in this country? Let me tell you when we'll get serious in this country. You see when the government had to import body bags? Then, and only then we go get serious. Because nobody seems to understand how detrimental COVID-19 is. Have a good morning.
Okay, Larry. Well, thank you very much for your contribution here with us this morning. I know it's a very serious case indeed. When you look at social media, people are scared. No, scared is not the word. People are a bit... They're not too encouraged to venture outside, although there are some people, well, look, we are heightened of a political campaign, and a number of people will be canvassing for various candidates and what have you. It comes with the territory. But at the same time, we need to be responsible. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Ms. Dookie, good morning, wherever you are.
Okay, Ms. Dookie, all right.
Good morning to you. What do you mean, ladies before gentlemen?
Yeah. Well, Ms. Dookie is not with me this morning.
I give you all credit for that young lady. I admire that young lady. She seems to be very intelligent. If she's guided well, she'll become the next Ms. Dookie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you, my friend. But go ahead.
I heard the opposition leader sometime. Mr. Kenrick, do you look at international news? I have Ms. Dookie on the morning because I could pose this question to she and she can answer me.
Yeah, of course I do, my friend.
All right. What we call
well, note that I did not cut you off, my friend. Something is wrong with your connection with me this morning. You need to call me back at 636-7547 and 227-5739. We're heading up to the hour of 7 o'clock. It's just about 20 minutes here to the hour of 7. Let's go to some commercials, and when we come back, we'll continue. Stay with us here, 975.
A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited of 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo for all your hardware materials from foundation to finish. Not forgetting all your general contracting needs. We have it all at A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited, located at 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo. Just call Tiki Ali at 650-2180.
A&S Hardware are wholesalers and retailers of plywood, an assortment of lumber, galvanized pipe, hollow section, and steel. Customers can enjoy special prices on white pine and pitch pine doors.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Hello, I am Rajendra Rampersad, your PNM candidate for Couva South. I ask for your support to take Couva South into government and to improve the quality of life for all of us. I have specific plans to create jobs, develop our youths, improve agriculture, infrastructure, and security. As a person born in Dow Village, California, and started my education at Esperanza Presbyterian School, I want to use my years of experience as a successful businessman and a resident of Couva South to partner with you to make our communities better. I have been listening to your complaints of non-representation in Couva South. It is time for a change. I ask for your vote on August the 10th. Vote Rajendra Rampersad, the right choice for a better Couva South. Vote PNM.
That was a paid political announcement. The following is a paid political announcement.
This ad brought to you by the PNM.
Sign my name with a golden pen, a golden pen. Sign my name, sign my name. Sign my name with a golden anyway, we vote in PNM. Sign my name with a PNM pen, a PNM pen, a PNM pen. How will you sign my name with a PNM pen? We vote in
On August 10th, vote PNM. great is the PNM.
That was a paid political announcement.
You 97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio will be bringing you coverage of Election Day 2020. Look out for live capsule reports throughout the day as you make your way to the polls. Then you can join our live panel discussion from 8 p.m. as we bring to you the election results. Exclusive on U97.5 FM.
You can now listen to business news Monday to Fridays at 5 p.m. Get updated on all the latest business developments. Tune in to U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio, where we keep you informed, educated, and entertained.
Yes, indeed, and thank you very much for being with us here at 97.5. We're moving up to the hour of 7 o'clock, just about 16 minutes here to the hour of 7. And note that time check came to you through the kind courtesy of Mr. Rajendra Rampasad, who is the Couva South candidate for the People's National Movement. Note that the general election 2020 is just next week, Monday. Yeah, just 7 days away. And note that us here at 97.5 will be bringing you capsules report from throughout the country. Our operatives will be in various jurisdictions, filing reports, giving you an update as to what is happening on the landscape thus far. And a bit later on in the evening, well, you can join yours truly together with Mukesh Baburam and also Mr. Nirvan Maharaj, who will be looking at what would have transpired during the course of the day, trying to analyze what would have taken place during the election process. So that and great things happening right here on 975. Note that tomorrow I'll be hosting the President General of the Old Trinidad General Workers Trade Union, Mr. Nirvan Maharaj, as they continue to build capacity and continue to partner with us here at 975. Well, I've been trying to keep you abreast as to some of the stories as published in today's edition of the Newsday newspaper. Remember, you can go outside there and purchase your copy of this publication. It is priced at only $3 and it's available at all leading newsstands throughout the country. The Newsday newspaper, Monday, August 3rd, 2020. It's 72 pages in total, and there's a very graphic photograph published on the front cover. La Joquita residents want action, fed up of flooding. Yes, I look at some videos uploaded on social media and even in the newscast last night. Very a traumatic situation for the residents in the La Joquita area. Well, I have this caller here on the line. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Ken and Company.
Good morning to you, my friend. Good morning. As politicians whip up their campaign ahead of the 2020 general election, nothing changes. Nothing changes. Maybe the people in this area who would have faced flooding will now have to call on their, let's say, prospective candidates to look at measures to mitigate flooding in these communities. Go ahead, friend.
Yeah, well, actually, I was near Piafo yesterday doing some agriculture up there in the Sanella area. And when the rain came tumbling down, I had a couple of partners also going up right to Greenvale. And they actually WhatsApped me within half an hour to tell me there was flooding even this way. So that I guess we had to be on the lookout as the rainy season matures now. That we're going to have floods somewhere, and I hope the authorities, right, election or no, have things in place to assist these people.
Well, one should note that look, whenever it rains heavily, there will be usual flooding. But one has to understand the level of flooding in these communities and what are the reasons for the rising waters. There must be reasons. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I think that a lot of things also has to do with the planning aspect,
Yeah, well, true is unplanned development, blocked water courses, poor maintenance. Those are the three main reasons.
Because in the first place, Ken, I mean, let me take away, let us say, the politics from it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That Greenville area will be very susceptible all the while to flooding, because of the actual, location where it is. I think in the first place, I think, people ought to have been more careful and actually, put this place elsewhere, because it is going to be hazardous to people who are living there.
All right, listen to this paragraph as published in today's Newsday. Meanwhile, a team from the Tonopuna-Piarco Regional Corporation arrived with an excavator and started clearing the drains and assisting residents with their cleanup. To me, that is reactive as opposed to being proactive.
And I want to be honest again. I mean, whatever it is, again, taking all the politics. I think I live up in the St. Augustine area, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be very honest. I think a lot of work was indeed done on clearing the water courses. I could see so for a fact. But the thing is this, Kenrick, if you're getting more water falling down from the heavens and you have these places sited in areas which are actually flood prone, you will get flood. So I think it has a lot to do with planning of locations. It has to do. Plus, I mean, between you and me, I'll be very honest, Ken, if you drive through St. Augustine in the Chanchel area and see again, I mean, mountains of bottles thrown by the residents coming down from all parts of St. Augustine. And I think one of the critical things that we should do is to enforce the anti-litter thing and charge people. People in Trinidad are very, very dirty. And well, when I say people, some people, right, more than some, they don't care about other people. I was actually driving one day and I saw this lady. Water was rising in the drains, one of the drains, and she was actually kicking bottles into the drain. So I stopped and said, "Ma'am, don't do that, right? You could be charged." And she said, "Well, how the bottles came in her yard?" So she has to get rid of that. I said, "Oh God, man, at least pick up the bottles and put them in some garbage bag." So Ken, it has a lot to do also with our hygiene too, eh?
Mm-hmm. Well, I hear you.
Yeah, Ken, but what I want to talk about is this. Something that actually here being touted around, but if you read the news and read the international news and so forth, right? A lot of these vaccines, well, I mean a lot, maybe around 10 of the vaccines in the world right now are in the third phase trials. After this, I mean, they are being tested, They are being tested. And, before the year is up or early next year, right? Right, good, with God's grace, at least some of these vaccines going to be out. Would you believe that there are some governments like Italy and Belgium and France and Germany and, of course, our USA friend, Big Brother, they have gone out of the way to actually pay down on these vaccines, so that when the vaccines are actually, released, these countries are going to be getting their vaccines earlier rather than the rest of the world. And I want to know, are there any people here in our government or government to be who are going to have the foresight to do something rather than that is something that is, as far as I see right now, a priority for our country, right? To make sure that when these vaccines roll out, we don't take years to get these vaccines here.
Well, it's a point which the World Health Organization would have made, and the World Health Organization, I think the chair would have addressed such. He said that these are what they call first world countries should not take advantage of the situation, thereby subjecting to the lesser nations to be at a disadvantage.
Yeah. So that I think when our government meets, or even meets any other government in any kind of worldly organization, we have to start pushing even from now and pay down rather than spending our money, frittering our money on, I would think, on non-essential things. Make sure and pay down, right, for some of these vaccines so that our population could have vaccines available and not have to wait years for some of these vaccines.
All right, well, let's leave it there for the wild friend. Let's have another
All right,
call
Ken.
on the line.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Kenrick.
Hi, good morning, Chris.
What I have heard, the World Health Organization have certain stipulations for release of a vaccine. You don't just make it and release it. The WHO have to release it. And what they are saying is that there must first of all be enough vaccines, billions of vaccines, to be able to satisfy one of those conditions before it is released. I'd have nothing like no country we could buy more than any other country. The WHO is looking at that carefully, that no disadvantaged country will be further disadvantaged by not getting a vaccine. And what I call for this morning, my Prime Minister, I see him come in none of the areas where it have UNC people. Dr. Williams' amendment to every part of this country and talk to people on election. Patrick Barron did the same thing. What is the Prime Minister doing? Only in certain particular areas he's talking to some people, not to all the people. And the next thing, Kenrick, we have seen the Minister of National Security, the Minister of Health, a female minister, they're flanking the Chief Medical Officer. And everything they talk about is what the Chief Medical Officer put together and he's managing. And they come and they put like peacocks stutter around. While they are doing that and taking the credit for what the CMO has been doing, the country's management has been neglected. They say they closed down the borders. Can we? True. They shut down the airport, but the borders wide open. So the things that they're supposed to be doing to ensure that nobody come into this country, bringing this from outside sources, then that they didn't do that. And what we have now, Kendrick, we now start,
And Chris, I found it very unusual or strange indeed that at that conference on a Friday, that no member of the media would have posed the question as to our porous borders, what sort of actions are being taken, because the Minister of National Security, Stuart Young, would have hinted that those people found guilty of harboring even business people, employing undocumented immigrants would be prosecuted. And I wanted him to emphasize further.
But I hear this vet the question beforehand and tell them what they could ask and what they can ask. The next thing, Mrs. Bissessa has been asking for the borders to open. And I heard something on BBC that tells me she has been listening to BBC or to some international organizations. Because in Spain, you have a chain of hotels, including a 5-star hotel, where they have given their hotel chain free to the government. The government using those for quarantine, and the government paying the staff that remain. They tell the staff who want to stay, volunteer, you stay. Those who don't want to stay, there's nothing against you. One third staff decide they will stay. And the government is paying that 1/3 and paying for the maintenance and cleaning and everything else, but they get the accommodation free. And for the past 2.5 months, they have not had anybody who is working there contracting the virus. So I think Mrs. Bissessa may have been listening to that. Because we have hotels in
well, two things. The country that you're referring to as an example may be in a better position to offer such a service. They have the necessary resources and infrastructure. I do think that in Trinidad and Tobago we have the necessary infrastructure to do that in terms of even the human resources. And a friend was making a point to me that Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley would have recently said that there are 10,000 nationals wanting to come home. And he would have been further from the truth in that press conference on Friday where he said 5,000. So I tried to mention to the person I was having the conversation with, look, although we may have 10,000 people wanting to come home, that doesn't mean to say 10,000 people would have made an application to be exempted,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Next thing, now what they have done in Spain with the hotels I spoke of there, They have trained the hotel staff.
Mm-hmm.
They provide them with PPE, and they supervise them, and they have outside maintenance come in to maintain and prepare the food and so for the people, the serve and so. So it is sometimes organized through the Ministry of Health.
Well, maybe it's
right?
maybe
they just get the free accommodation,
Uh-huh.
and the health department come in and do what they had to do to get the people in Kura what's taking place. So I agree with you about this 5,000 and 10,000. I have come to realize that there is hardly anything that comes out of Dr. Rowley's mouth that you can believe. It seems as though everything he says is a lie. I can't understand this at all. Now, next thing, he went up to La Hoqueta Talparo. Jolene John went up there, and Jolene John has organized the youth. They were planting in state land.
Yeah, I listen. I know exactly where you're coming. You're talking about the pak choy.
Yes, and she went and she gave them some resources to develop for that. What's she doing there? She helping them people. So he gone now. 1,002 acres of land will be made available for you with 1,000 head of cattle, and give you the cattle and the farm and resources and funding. Wait, hold up.
Well, I am surprised that no one would have reminded Dr. Keith Rowley about this plywood factory he was talking about in 2015.
Oh, wait, Kendrick. You remember Waterfield?
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Williams, cattle from Austria, top red cattle, dairy farms, with them.
That's why I say to you, my friend Chris, and the listening audience, be very careful what comes out of the mouth of politicians. Be very, very careful what comes out. Promises and more promises.
You know, when I remember growing up with some
All right,
friends.
Chris, my apologies, but we have to leave it there. I'm up to the 7 o'clock news hour. Thank you very much, my friend.
Thank you. All the best.
Thank you very much. Folks, let's take the 7 o'clock newscast with Umar Ratan Singh, and a bit later on in the program, I'll be touching with Michelle Benjamin, who is the United National Congress candidate for the constituency of Moruga Tableland. Stay with us here. 975 FM, hot like pepper.
Time has come. New 97.5. Make it your choice. Something for everyone. 975 FM. Music for you. It's all about you.
97.5 FM, hot like pepper, multicultural radio.
Power to the listeners.
It is now time for Major News to the Hour, brought to you by Crystal Beverages Company, Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Lisha Limited, and the Trinidad and Tobago News Day.
This is the 7 a.m. news on U97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. I am Umar Ratan Singh. Good morning. The heavy downpour of rains over the weekend caused a flood panic in some areas in Trinidad, including the once severely affected La Hoqueta. Floodwaters are now receding in La Hoqueta after drains were at capacity following heavy rainfalls yesterday, which resulted in street flooding. The Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government confirmed that the Community Emergency Response Team volunteers have been activated and disaster management field officers are on standby to enter and begin damage assessments. Meanwhile, the Housing and Development Corporation has advised that there is no risk of flooding to the Greenville community and denied social media reports that the community was being evacuated. The HDC assured residents that there was no need to panic. The corporation said the berm is functioning well and continues to prevent water from surrounding water courses from entering the community, and pumps are on and functioning to displace the excess water away from the ponds. The HDC Emergency Response Team is monitoring the situation. And while the rains were pouring over the weekend, a 5.3 magnitude earthquake also followed, striking near Port of Spain on Saturday night. According to the University of the West Indies Seismic Research Center, the earthquake occurred around 8:03 p.m. at a depth of 10 kilometers, hitting 108 kilometers west-northwest of Port of Spain and 134 kilometers west-northwest of Arima. No damages were reported. And in the political arena, the Progressive Democratic Patriots is expected to file a complaint to the Elections and Boundaries Commission. This after its logo appeared on posters in Tobago with a photo of the United National Congress leader, Kamla Persad-Bissessar. The PDP said it has no affiliation with the UNC, nor is it a part of any unity agreement with any other party, and the UNC is not contesting the Tobago East and West seats in the island. The PDP said it does not believe in the use of paper posters as it is bad for the environment and unsightly. Asked as to who is behind the act, the PDP said it is certain that the party has been littering Tobago with posters and is irresponsible. And crime continues in TNT as a 32-year-old Tortuga man was arrested in connection with 6 illegal weapons and quantities of assorted ammunition. Officers of the Central Division Task Force seized the findings during an early morning anti-crime exercise conducted in the Tortuga Village district on Saturday morning. An official police report indicates that intelligence was obtained which led police officers to the Tortuga Village home of the suspect, where they executed a search warrant for firearms and ammunitions. And as we move to news regionally in Guyana with elections, the Guyana Elections Commission declared its new elected president, Mohamed Irfan Ali, yesterday following the submission of the report of the March 2nd general and regional elections by the Chief Elections Officer to the Commission. The declaration was made by Chief Elections Officer, retired Justice Claudette Singh, after she received the report from CEO Keith Lowenfield. The report of the CEO was based on data from the national recount, and in an update, the People's Progressive Party and Civic obtained 33 seats. The new elected president, 40-year-old Ali, is a former Minister of Housing under the previous PPP and C administration and was elected president candidate of the PPP and C in January 2019. And as we move across the world internationally, according to a BBC report, Indian Interior Minister Amit Shah has announced that he tested positive for the new coronavirus and was hospitalized. More than 17.79 million people around the world have been diagnosed with the new coronavirus, while almost 10.5 million patients have recovered and more than 684,000 have died, according to the data from Johns Hopkins University. And on to the weather forecast. Today we'll experience cloudy periods during the early morning with light to moderate showers in varying areas. There is a medium to high chance of heavy rains and showers and thunderstorms. Conditions can improve as the day progresses with a light to moderate shower in a few areas and a medium chance of an afternoon thunderstorm. In the event of a heavy shower thunderstorms, winds can become gusty and street and flash flooding is likely in areas so prone. Seas will be slight to moderate with waves 1.5 meters in open waters and less than 1 meter in sheltered areas. High tides at 4:35 p.m. Low tides at 10:04 a.m. and 10:08 p.m. Sunset at 6:28 p.m. Temperatures are currently 27 degrees and expected to reach a high of 32 degrees as the day progresses. And that brings us to the end of the 7 a.m. news on U97.5 FM Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. Join us at 8 a.m. for more news. I am Uma Ratan Singh, wishing you a safe and blessed day ahead.
A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited of 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo for all your hardware materials from foundation to finish. Not forgetting all your general contracting needs. We have it all at A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited, located at 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo. Just call Tiki Ali at 650-2180.
A&S Hardware are wholesalers and retailers of plywood, an assortment of lumber, galvanized pipe, hollow section, and steel. Customers can enjoy special prices on white pine and pitch pine doors.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Hello, I am Rajendra Rampersad, your PNM candidate for Couva South. I ask for your support to take Couva South into government and to improve the quality of life for all of us. I have specific plans to create jobs, develop our youths, improve agriculture, infrastructure, and security. As a person born in Dow Village, California, and started my education at Esperanza Presbyterian School, I want to use my years of experience as a successful businessman and a resident of Couva South to partner with you to make our communities better. I have been listening to your complaints of non-representation in Couva South. It is time for a change. I ask for your vote on August the 10th. Vote Rajendra Rampersad, the right choice for a better Couva South. Vote PNM.
That was a paid political announcement. The following is a paid political announcement.
This ad brought to you by the PNM. Sign my name with a golden pen, a golden pen. Sign my name, sign my name, yeah. With a golden anyway, we vote in PNM. Sign my name with a PNM pen, a PNM pen, a PNM pen. How will you sign my name with a PNM pen? We vote in on August 10th, vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
That was a paid political announcement.
You can now listen to business news Monday to Fridays at 5 p.m. Get updated on all the latest business developments. Tune in to U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio, where we keep you informed, educated, and entertained.
Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited, number 86 Pearville, opposite the TSTT Exchange in Mayaro. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liqueur, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery supplies, and photocopying. We also provide rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at reduced prices on liqueur, wholesale and retail. We are open every day, even on public holidays, for your convenience. TT Post services are available here at Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you.
The following is a paid political announcement.
This ad brought to you by the PNM.
PNM is the choice, PNM is the voice, PNM all the way on election day. It's the right choice at the right time. Hands in the air for the Bali's, hey. Super, super, super. Red, springy water. Red, blessings from the higher. Red, the sweetness, yeah. Red, sprinkle everywhere. Red, where the Bali's, hey. Red, where you come to ice, on August 10th, vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
That was a paid political announcement.
You 97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio will be bringing you coverage of Election Day 2020. Look out for live capsule reports throughout the day as you make your way to the polls. Then you can join our live panel discussion from 8 p.m. as we bring to you the election results. Exclusive on U97.5 FM.
The following is a paid political announcement.
This ad brought to you by the PNM. All will be fine. Look, we made the right choice every time. Still a job to be done and a race to be won, and we know we will win every time. Just keep the faith, heads up high. We're together in this, you and I. Yes, the job will be done and the race will be won, and we know we will win every time. And we go vote for the love of we country. We go vote to protect the treasury. Vote is only Dr. Rowley, the right choice for TNT. PNM is the choice, PNM is the voice, PNM all the way on election day is the right choice at the right time. Hands in the air for the Bali's, hey. On August 10th, vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
That was a paid political announcement. The following is a paid political announcement.
Hello, I am Rajendra Rampersad, your PNM candidate for Couva South. I ask for your support to take Couva South into government and to improve the quality of life for all of us. I have specific plans to create jobs, develop our youths, improve agriculture, infrastructure, and security. As a person born in Dow Village, California, and started my education at Esperanza Presbyterian School, I want to use my years of experience as a successful businessman and a resident of Couva South to partner with you to make our communities better. I have been listening to your complaints of non-representation in Couva South. It is time for a change. I ask for your vote on August the 10th. Vote Rajendra Rampersad, the right choice for a better Couva South. Vote PNM.
That was a paid political announcement.
Yes, indeed, and thank you very much for being with us here at 97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper. It's just about 18 minutes here past the hour of 7 o'clock, and that time check came to you to the kind KTC of Mr. Rajendra Rampasad, who is the People's National Movement candidate for the constituency of Couva South. I'll be touching base with Mr. Rampasad in just about 5 minutes' time to continue our interview with him. But in the meantime, I have some callers here on the line. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Kenrick.
Good morning, my friend, and thank you very much. Good morning. What's happening?
I cool, man. I cool.
What's going on?
What is in cricket match? The last hour start.
Yeah, well, 1 week to polling day, yes.
Yeah, but I say compliment what how it ended up in Guyana. At least it had no bloodshed.
Yeah.
Because it was going on for too long, and just a handful of people just take this whole thing and make this a bacchanal and a Japanese.
Well, the people of Guyana can breathe easier now, my friends.
You see, again, this word democracy. Democracy is a big word. I mean, people vote.
Yeah, but hold on. One should take the Claudette Singh and even to Keith Lowenfool to task for delaying this entire procedure, you know.
Yeah. No, you see, when things happen, you have to find out who at fault. And when you find who at fault, you punish them. Because the reason for putting punishment is so that they won't do it again. And when you make the country a laughing stock of the world. Now, come back to Trinidad here. Now, all this thing in Guyana was possible because of the observers. Right? I don't know if it's too late for observers to come into Trinidad. But right now, this week in Trinidad here is home stretch. A lot of people are learning the laws, and a lot of people will try to learning to prevent things from happening. And all I appreciate it to Monday that people go and exchange, go do the thing, and let the results come out clean and clear and live with the results. But somebody had to win, somebody had to lose.
All right, friend. Well, thank you very much. Yes, as we continue to cover most of the developments taking place in the politics of the day, just let me alert the audience, to the listening audience, to note that I won't take your calls for a bit now because in the process of conducting an interview with the candidate for the Couva South constituency of the People's National Movement, Mr. Rajendra Rampasad. So just bear with me a bit later on in the program. I will open the lines whereby you can share your thoughts with me. As you note, for the past couple of weeks or so, we've been offering most of the candidates an opportunity to share their thoughts and to share their views with us. Well, sharing the studio with me this morning for a little while is Mr. Rajendra Rampasad, as I said, the Couva South PNM candidate for the People's National Movement. So let me say a very special good morning to him this morning. Good morning, Mr. Rampasad, and thank you very much for being with us here.
Good morning, Kenneth, and good morning to all the listeners and viewers of 97.5. Thank you for having me here again.
1 week before polling day, when last we spoke, you would have expressed confidence of winning the seat for the People's National Movement. And as I said, 1 week before polling day, what are your thoughts on the campaign thus far?
My thoughts is that we are very positive. The energy is very high. Speaking to the constituents, they are showing that they are ready for a change. They need better representation because there has been a lack of representation in the constituency of Couva South. And they're very happy to see a new, fresh person coming on the scene.
Sometime last week, I spoke to one market vendor who lives opposite. Well, the market is opposite to your residence, and she would have been complaining about how the market would have outgrown its usefulness, given the fact that there are so many vendors wanting to set up stalls there. And I know that it is a pet peeve of yours. Your thoughts on this?
Well, as you would have known for the last couple of months, or even before that, even before I got into the arena of politics, I have been asking that the Couva market be removed and be rebuilt with a bigger and a new modern market facilities. As everybody knows, I am opposite the market, so I share some of the concerns with the market vendors, and they're right. There are no parking facilities. They have no access to get into the market with their produce. The gate is under lock and key, and they have to carry by hand all their produce and so on. That is not how a new modern market or an environment that is exceeding the limits and trying to be a modern constituency should operate.
Would you say, Mr. Rampasad, that this would be one of your first concern which you would like to address to bring some sort of relief to these vendors.
Yes, it is. I mean, if you look at my portfolio that I've had, this has been prepared. This is something I've been working on for the last 3-4 months. And you would see that on the list is a new market for Couva and a new car park for Couva. Couva is in dire need of a car park. There's no parking facilities at all in Couva.
But you talk about this project. Have you been able to identify with any other stakeholders where this parcel of land may be available to erect such a structure?
Well, we are looking. Firstly, we have to get approval from government and from the regional corporation to decide what will be a suitable parcel of land for this. And then we have to also look into the traffic coming in and going out and ease of access to the people who would be using the market. So we are still in the process of trying to identify a parcel of land.
I listened to your political leader, Dr. Keith Rowley, last night, and talking about distrust into agriculture. When last you would have spoken to us, you told us that you would have identified agriculture as one of the areas to boost the economy of Trinidad and Tobago, to get people more involved, to bring the food importation bill down. But there's a question in terms of access road. There's a question over Predial Alasani. How prepared are you to address this?
I am prepared to address all the needs of the constituents. Agriculture is one of the very most important businesses of Trinidad and Tobago. It will help, as we all know, to reduce the import bills and to help with revenue for the farmers. Predial Alasani is very, very important, and it's not as beefed up as it should be. That is something that we have to look at first and foremost, because it is the easiest one to get off the list. So if we can have the Predial Alasani squad improved and enlarged, then it will start to give the farmers a little bit of comfort and relief in the growing of their produce.
And Mr. Rampersad, as we look at some of the challenges facing the constituents of Couva South, when last you were here also, we would have spoken about the lack of proper police patrols and security for people in and around the community, more so for the business community. Now let's look at some other problems the people of Couva South have been facing. Water woes. It's a cry not only from Couva South, but throughout the country.
It's a cry from throughout the country.
What's your solution, if you can find any at all?
The solution right now is, we just have to pray to God to get some more rain so that the dams can be filled. I was walking through an area called Windsor Park last week, and when I looked up to the east there, I saw this big tank that used to be a reservoir that would have been servicing the community of Windsor Park, Forest Park, Esperanza, Dow Village. On my inquiries, I've been told that reservoir has been decommissioned because of several different things, probably was maintained over the last 15, 20 years. So if we can get that reservoir back into action, it will not solve all the problems, but it will help to alleviate some of the problems. Another thought I've been having with some local and foreign business people is maybe a second desalination plant in the area. And, that, to me, that is a more feasible one. When we thinking of the amount of money that has to be spent to revive that old reservoir, it might be worth the while in investing in a second desalination plant.
But those are long-term goals and long-term measures. Let's look at what is currently facing the people of Couva South. You talk about a lack of proper street lightings. You talk also about drains not being cleaned. And I always remark on this program, for some reason I cannot understand why the regional corporation would clean drains and put the rubble and debris at the side of the road. And whenever it rains, the rubble gets back into the drain. I mean, it's a perennial problem. How prepared are you to address this?
Well, the thing is, the people at the corporation have no foresight. They have no sense of value for the people that lives in the area. You're correct. This has been something that's been going on for years. I mean, I remember as a young man growing up, they would put the mess of the debris that came out of drain on the side of the road. And then the following day, you'd have another vehicle with 5 workers with the spades and so on and trying to load that. Now, you don't see that anymore. But by modern day standards, you have little bobcats and mini excavators that can do the same job and get the thing done right away. Why they are not doing it, I do not know. I sometimes think that the regional corporation, especially in the Couva South constituency, have no regard for the constituents because the monies are there, the equipment is there, you have manpower. Why don't you do the job properly?
Mr. Rampersad, you live in the heart of Couva, and as a Couva businessman, a resident in the Couva community, it must pain you at times to know that we describe ourselves as the energy capital. The Point Lisas Industrial Estate is just 5 minutes from where we are, and yet we have these perennial problem of floods in our area. If it rains for about 20-25 minutes or so, the Couva Main Road is flooded. The Couva Main Road, I would have remarked on this program, is one of the most deplorable road for a bustling, buzzing community. How are you prepared to tackle this problem?
5 years ago, when the Couva Main Road was repaved under the UNC government, I, as a mechanical engineer, as a contractor, as a construction person, took the time to go and have a look and see what was happening and how this thing is going on. If you look at the pavements, the side of the roads, there are no weep hole for the water to run from the main road. The contractors did not prepare to have that weep hole, that access to the water to run off. Then straight after the repaving of the road, they had the rebuilding of the pavements. Again, all the waterways, that is to take the water from the main road, has been clogged up. Only last week I said, look, let me take a walk again and have a look and see what it is. And there are no weep holes on the side of the road for the water to run off. Hence the reason that we're having all these floodings on the Couva Main Road.
Mr. Rampersad, very close to you, we have the National Energy Skill Center. We have also the Point Lisas Industrial Estate, and a number of businesses are cropping up in and around the constituency. But yet, there is this challenge of young people being employed or given an opportunity to build capacity for themselves. It must be a concern of you to empower young people. You talk about an apprentice program. You want to elaborate on that for us this morning?
Okay. I came out of an apprentice program with Carney Limited, what was known as the tractor shed. Although my parents could have afforded to send me otherwise, but I think discipline was the order of the day. So I was sent to Tractor Shed to do an apprentice program. I stayed there for 1 year because I think I had reached the level that I wanted to be before I can go out as a man on the streets or abroad. So that helped me when I went abroad to continue my studies. Now, I have been advocating that if we have apprenticeship programs with all the companies we have in the Point Lisas area, that will absorb the young children, the young men from 13 to maybe 15, 17, giving them the opportunity to showcase their trade and their ability. But the thing is, there has never been any representation from anybody to go to these companies to ask, what are you doing or what are you willing to do to accept apprentices from the area? We have been talking to a few of them over the last couple of weeks, and sadly to say, they told us point blank, nobody has ever approached them with any such request. So it's just a matter of the will from the representative of the area to get his people together, get the village councils, get whatever, organize the groups to go and make proper representation to these firms. They're willing. Look, the Caldra Club in Dow Village, they were down and out and they had hit the ground. They hit right down to the bottom, and they went to NGC and a few of the other companies on their estate. And they were willing. They are now the sponsors of Caldra Club because people took the initiative to go to them and ask for assistance. Now, there's nobody in the corporation or from the Member of Parliament to gather the people You don't speak to the people, so then you don't know the needs of the people.
All right. Let's take a very short commercial break here, Mr. Rampasad. And when we come back, of course, we'll continue with our discussion with the Couva South candidate for the People's National Movement, Mr. Rajendra Rampasad. We're heading up to the hour of 8 o'clock. It's just about 26 minutes here to the hour of 8. Let's take some commercials. And when we come back, we'll continue with our discussion. 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper.
Following is a paid political announcement.
Hello, I am Rajendra Rampasad, your PNM candidate for Couva South. I ask for your support to take Couva South into government and to improve the quality of life for all of us. I have specific plans to create jobs, develop our youths, improve agriculture, infrastructure, and security. As a person born in Dow Village, California, and started my education at Esperanza Presbyterian School, I want to use my years of experience as a successful businessman and a resident of Couva South to partner with you to make our communities better. I have been listening to your complaints of non-representation in Couva South. It is time for a change. I ask for your vote on August the 10th. Vote Rajendra Rampasad, the right choice for a better Couva South. Vote PNM.
That was a paid political announcement.
Visit Eddie's Pharmacies Limited newest location inside JTA Supermarket, C3 Center, Current Village, San Fernando. They offer blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, and pregnancy testing, as well as all pharmaceutical products and over-the-counter drugs, along with CDAP prescriptions. Sagicor Carry Care International Medical Card, Guardian Life Provider Card, and Republic Bank points are all accepted at their 3 locations of Eddie's Pharmacy Limited. RS Building, Rosha Douglas Road, Barraco, GN Building in Pinal, and C3 Center, Current Village, San Fernando.
You, 97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio will be bringing you coverage of Election Day 2020. Look out for live capsule reports throughout the day as you make your way to the polls. Then you can join our live panel discussion from 8 p.m. as we bring to you the election results. Exclusive on U97.5 FM.
The following is a paid political announcement.
For all the years I live in this country, the only time I see real progress was under the UNC. Places that had no water and roads, nobody lost their jobs, and they managed this country like a real boss. The happiest times was under UNC. The last 5 years under PNM was the worst I ever see in all my life. Lord, I hope they may come back. That will be real trouble for we. Real trouble. What will happen to the people, to the children, and to this country if PNM come back, Lord? I want back my life. I want back my future. On August 10th, I am voting UNC.
On August 10th, all you come out and vote UNC. Come out, vote UNC.
That was a paid political announcement.
Yes, indeed, and welcome back to 975 FM Hot Like Pepper. I'm chatting here with Mr. Rajendra Rampasad, who is the People's National Movement candidate for the constituency of Couva South. And 1 week again before polling day. Yes, polling day is next week, Monday. So at around this time, next week, Monday, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, over 1 million people, will be given an opportunity to cast their ballot for whatever party, whatever candidate they deem fit to lead them or represent them for the next 5 years. And as I said, with me this morning is Mr. Rajendra Rampasad, who would have outlined within the last 20 minutes or so some of his plans and vision for the constituency of Couva North. South rather, my apologies. Mr. Rampasad, you talk about expansion of the agricultural sector. It's part of your vision. And no doubt there are many jurisdictions in the constituency of Couva South that has acreage of farming land. You spoke about dairy, poultry, and fish farming. I'm giving you an opportunity to expand on this area.
Okay. Now, let's go back to the sugar workers. They were promised their 2 acres of land and the 1 lot of land when they accepted the VSEP package. The VSEP package is a different story. We'll talk about that later on. But the 2 acres of land that were promised to these people so that they can go and venture into agriculture, at least 50% of these people have not had their property as yet. I don't know if they have a letter of comfort or anything, but let's assume that the land is theirs and they have access to the land. What is needed now is to get these people and to get them to start planting the land and doing the agriculture as was discussed in the lease agreement for them to have that 2 acre parcel of land. Now, there is no initiative by anybody to show these people how you can access monies from the ADB or seedlings or anything to show them how to plant their gardens. Now, these people, primarily, they were cane cutters and working in the sugar cane fields. So they have a little idea of how to plant because they are successfully planting their home gardens. They need some direction as how to develop this 2 acre plot. Now, if you have 100 2 acre plots in the constituency of Couva South, that would be self-sufficient food for the whole central region. But again, it is the lack of directorship, it is the lack of the member of parliament getting these people together and say, listen, we have given you this land. Especially he was the one involved in the VSEP package and ensuring that they get the 2 acre parcel. Now you've given them the 2 acre parcel. We are in crisis. We need food. And you're not even there to show the people or even to say, okay, you can go and do this, or you can apply here, or you can apply there, and this is how you're going to get your agricultural side of the thing developed. This is what we are planning to do. We are planning to meet with these people, set up agricultural workshops so that they can see how they can be successful. Now, in the interim, the people, they in need of money. They don't have the leadership to say how to go ahead with the agricultural farming. So some of them have put their lands up for sale. Now, that was not the intent when the lands were promised to them. But because there was no follow-up as to how these people should use the land to produce food, that is what they had to resort to. So we intend to have agricultural workshops. There are numerous agriculturists and agronomists in Trinidad and Tobago. Even from Caroni Limited, there were agronomists there. Why not utilize the skills of these people to teach the farmers how to grow their produce? Well, your vision for Couva South should be applauded. But as you say, you talk about agriculture and creating the right mechanism and providing the necessary infrastructure. It also brings us to another idea of yours about agro-processing facility, and you talk about an agro-processing facility at Brecon Castle. Expand a bit. Well, there is a building that is there behind the old sugar factory, and from my investigations, that building is there for agro-processing. So all that is needed now is some follow-up to see what is needed there in that building to complete the agro-processing plant. My intent is to ensure that agro-processing plant comes a reality. But all of these plans need execution, and if you do, let's say, get the necessary support, that is, you do win the seat for the People's National Movement in
I'm not asking you to make promises to the people of Couva South, but an execution plan. You're talking about a timeline here. You want to share with us a timeline for some of these projects?
Okay, my manifesto, if you want to call it that, is a 5-year plan. Now, there are some, I'm sorry I don't have the graph here with me, that will tell us over what period of time what we would be addressing. But definitely, agriculture, processing, and the market is on top priority. Water and drainage is another one. So we are looking, like I said, it's a 5-year plan. Agriculture, we want to get the agriculture sector up and running as soon as possible. The agro-processing plant. Now, there are people in the constituency who knows about these things. When we succeed and when we get into Parliament, I am not going to be the main person behind it. You have to learn how to delegate responsibilities, and that is what good management skills are about. That is what representation is all about, that you have people around you who you can delegate the responsibilities to, and you just ensure that the work has been done. So it's nothing different from running a company, just being a good manager and getting the right people to do the work.
All right. Well, you describe yourself as the right choice for a better Couva South. And no doubt you will also have a vision for the young people in the jurisdiction. I'm talking here about sporting activities and so on. What's your vision to help these people, let's say, live healthy lifestyles?
Okay. Last couple of weeks, we've gone into the housing area in the Point Lisa's garden. And we've been given stories about the young people there and their misbehaviors and all of that. So I took a team and we went in there to meet these young men. And their cry was that there are no facilities for them to recreate. The recreational ground is there, but the grass is 6 feet high. The basketball is there, but somebody has gone with a loop. There's no electricity. The basketball court needs repaving. And the condition in the back there was not of the nicest. So we got some guys in there with some pressure washers and weed whackers and give it to these people. And they started looking after their own amenities. They now have the ground in a good condition where they can go and play the football. We have sent some people to put in bulbs and so on the basketball court. And this is all the people wanted. They have nothing to do. And they sit there all day, idling and figuring out ways of how to get things done. And the easiest thing, the old saying, idle hands is the devil's workshop. So,
Mr. Rampersad, as a former cricketer myself, I would have played a number of games at Gilbert Park. And under the watch of Caroni 1975 Limited, you would agree with me that Gilbert Park was one of the better cricketing facility in the country. Today, it's a sorry sight indeed. And I'm sure that whenever you look at Gilbert Park, you must be concerned as to what is happening with this facility. What are your plans to develop Gilbert Park to bring it back to its glory days?
Well, I'm glad that you mentioned that because it's taken me back more than 40 years because, like I said before, I was an apprentice at the tractor shed. And I had to pay 25 cents a month to be able to use the facilities at Gilbert Park. That was, it was the envy of the cricketing world. It was the home of Wanderers Cricket Club.
Yes.
Yeah, Harry Ramuta was one of the stars back then. Yes, indeed, it pains me to see the condition of that ground. Definitely, it will be on our list of things to do, and we will get that up and running as a cricket ground. Bring it back to what it used to be, the cricketing capital of the Caroni division.
All right, we open our conversation this morning, Mr. Rampersad, about 1 week to polling day. You still remaining very confident that you can wrest the seat from the United National Congress.
Well, I'm laughing here a little bit because last week, Thursday or Friday morning, I had a very important meeting with some people in the Point Lisa's estate. So one of my engineers accompanied me to this meeting. So obviously I cannot go to the meeting wearing a party shirt, a PNM shirt or a UNC shirt or whatever. So as I was coming back to the campaign office, there was a group of UNC people in the yard, in my campaign office yard. And so we could not drive into the yard. So I asked the driver to stop. I will walk out of the car and go in. So I walked into my yard, and within seconds of me getting out of the car, walking to the yard, Rudy Indar Singh came to greet me. So I had my phone in one hand. I was about to put my mask on, and he greeted me with his elbow. And so we exchanged cordialities. And there was a guy standing next to him being very hostile. And I mentioned to Rudy, a couple of weeks ago, this guy tried to run me off the road while we were walking, and this happened just outside the NIS office. And I said to Rudy, come on, we don't need that kind of thing. You know, you called me and you said, let's have a clean campaign, and I agreed with you. Back in 1995, Ramesh Lawrence Maharaj commended that it was the best campaign he ever had. There was no mudslinging or anything. And that's who I am. That's how I operate. Lo and behold, Rudy spent half an hour on Facebook writing a document about me and my white shirt, and I'm ashamed to say that I'm a PNM and I am wearing a white shirt. Come on. Is that all you have to give to the people of Couva South in this election time when you're vying for re-election? I would have thought that you'd had something better. I thought you would have been able to speak about the market. You were right opposite the market. Why didn't you say that? You went yesterday into Phoenix Park in your motorcade. You stop outside a known PNM fellow's home, and you castigate this guy. What's happening with you? This guy is not even running for any position. Yes, he's a PNM. Yes, he's a member of the executive of the PNM. That has nothing to do with the campaign. Come on, Rudy, find something to say. Tell the people what you're going to do and why you haven't done anything in the last 10 years. And then be a man. Talk about Rudy Indar Singh. Don't come here and tell us what the Kamla Prasad Bisesa government is going to do. Kamla Prasad Bisesa is not fighting Couva South. You, Rudy, is fighting Couva South. I am fighting Couva South. Be a man. Come and face me. Let's have a debate. Let's talk about what you think that you want to do for Couva South. I am going to tell you what I am doing for Couva South. Oh, well, this is how confident I am.
Well, that's the voice there of the Couva South candidate for the People's National Movement, Mr. Rajendra Rampasad. Mr. Rampasad, as we end our conversation for this morning, and certainly we will catch up with you again before election date. Your message to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, your message to the people of Couva South.
I am the right choice, and as the UNC slogan says, time to change. Mrs. Prasad Bisesa knew what she's talking about. It's time to change Rudy Indar Singh and put Rajendra Rampasad there. So the UNC is also calling on change, Rudy. I am going to be the next Member of Parliament for Couva South.
Well, a very confident Mr. Rampasad as we wrap up today's edition of our conversation with one of the candidates vying for political office, Mr. Rajendra Rampasad, the Couva South candidate for the People's National Movement. Mr. Rampasad, I want to thank you very much for dropping by this morning and for sharing some thoughts with us. We'll touch base again. I'm sure that based on what you would have outlined for us thus far, the people of Couva South, the constituency of Couva South, will look in your direction come polling day. Thank you very much.
I appreciate that, and thank you very much for having me here. All the best to Trinidad and Tobago.
All right, we'll talk again in the near future, Mr. Rampasad. Thank you very much. Well, that's it for our conversation with Mr. Rampasad here this morning. Note that he is the Couva South candidate for the People's National Movement. Let's go to some commercials here this morning. And when I come back, well, of course, we will continue with our discussion. Still trying to set up an interview with Michelle Benjamin, who is the United National Congress candidate for the constituency of Moruga Tablan. Stay with us. 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper.
It's a paid political announcement.
Hello. I am Rajendra Rampasad, your PNM candidate for Couva South. I ask for your support to take Couva South into government and to improve the quality of life for all of us. I have specific plans to create jobs, develop our youths, improve agriculture, infrastructure, and security. As a person born in Dow Village, California, and started my education at Esperanza Presbyterian School, I want to use my years of experience as a successful businessman and a resident of Couva South to partner with you to make our communities better. I have been listening to your complaints of non-representation in Couva South. It is time for a change. I ask for your vote on August the 10th. Vote Rajendra Rampersad, the right choice for a better Couva South. Vote PNM.
Rajinder Jim Jim Choom. Rajinder Jim Jim Choom.
That was a paid political announcement.
You can now listen to business news Monday to Fridays at 5 p.m. Get updated on all the latest business developments. Tune in to U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio, where we keep you informed, educated, and entertained.
Jyoti's Puja Store is your one-stop puja store for all puja, wedding and cremation materials. Also available books, mithai and murtis made to order. Visit Jyoti's Puja Store today and be greeted with the kindest and most courteous staff with best prices and secured parking. Jyoti's Puja Store located at 542 Southern Main Road, Chase Village, Shigwanas. Contact 671-3849.
So guys, the party continues this Saturday. Yes, this Saturday, the Hot Like Pepper Reloaded continues from 8 to 12 noon. Sharon Baru alongside DJ Vishal, 12 noon to 3 p.m. The captain takes full flight. Yes, Captain Kendall Juggernaut from 12 noon to 3 p.m. From 3 to 7 p.m. DJ Anil is in with a Hot Like Pepper mix. And from 7 to 1 a.m. the man Corky D is in the building and will mix it up for you into the morning. Tune in, log on 975radio.com for the Hot Like Pepper Saturdays Reloaded.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Hello Trinidad and Tobago. I am a student and I have a message for you. The last 5 years have left me wondering what sort of future is ahead. I didn't receive a laptop when I entered high school in 2015. During the pandemic, I was unable to attend my virtual classes. I am now focused on attending university, but my parents can't afford to send me there. And under this PNM, GATE is no more. There were so many tertiary education opportunities under the UNC. Now everything is shutting down. What will happen to our young lives? On August 10th, I want to urge all young voters, vote for our future. Vote UNC.
That was a paid political announcement.
U97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio will be bringing you coverage of Election Day 2020. Look out for live capsule reports throughout the day as you make your way to the polls. Then you can join our live panel discussion from 8 p.m. as we bring to you the election results. Exclusive on U97.5 FM.
Join us on the journey to the polls. Find out about the candidates, the campaigns, the promises, and much more. You can now listen to your daily dose of politics, Mondays to Fridays at 1 p.m. right here on U97.5, Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio.
Yes, indeed, and welcome back to 975 FM Hot Like Pepper. I have a caller here on the line. Hello, good morning, and thank you very much for choosing us. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you, Bhavani. What's happening, my friend?
Well, I didn't catch the whole interview with Mr. Rampersad because I wanted to ask him about the infrastructure, the passageway for persons with disabilities who have to use the rugged pavements, etc. So I didn't catch that.
Okay. Well, he didn't touch base on that. Probably in my other interview, I'll touch base with him on that, okay?
The other thing for him is how come you now see the need to improve agriculture? He said he worked as an apprentice in Caroni?
Yeah, he was an apprentice at Caroni, yeah.
Right, and the same PNM who closed on Caroni. You understand? So who we trying? Where we trying to convince people? Anyhow.
Well, there's still this debate as to whether the People's National Movement would have closed down Caroni or whether it was the UNC. Remember that?
I think I think both of them have to take blame.
Yeah.
Because the head of the UNC at that time was at one time head of the sugar union.
Yeah.
So, both parties have to take blame with that. All right. Well, I'm happy for the people of Guyana.
Yes. Yes.
It's finally concluded.
After what? Since the 2nd
After 5
of
months,
March?
months.
Yeah.
Dead 5 months. Now, what I what I was looking for with interest this morning is those sycophants who were claiming when the election results was being awaited that the UNC getting involved in the Guyana election and it have UNC people there and how they go influence thing and you understand? And I ain't heard them utter a word this morning.
Well, that comment was made by one Lovell Francis, remember that?
Well, no, not only Lovell, but the PNM sycophants on talk shows. You understand? But I ain't heard a comment from them this morning as to the final outcome. I just hope that my prediction is 1920 with Jack and Duke making up the entire parliament, and I hope that this process wouldn't take 5 months. You understand?
All right, Bhavani. Well, thanks very much for your thoughts with me this morning. We need to head up to the 8 o'clock newscast with Uma Ratan Singh. And when we come back, we'll be into our final hour of today's edition of the morning program. Stay with us here. 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper.
Time has come. New 97.5. Make it your choice. Something for everyone. 975 FM. Music for you. It's all about you.
97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Power to the listeners.
It is now time for Major News to the Hour, brought to you by Crystal Beverages Company, Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Lisha Limited, and the Trinidad and Tobago News Day.
This is the ATM News on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. I am Uma Ratan Singh. Good morning. I begin the news with updates on the coronavirus. COVID-19 is serious in TNT as it has gone rampant, with community spread of the virus affecting children, shutting down schools, some businesses, and affecting adults as well. The most recent are the finding of 2 positive tested cases at a home for girls. This as the Office of the Prime Minister, Gender and Child Affairs, and the Children's Authority of Trinidad and Tobago are currently working with management and staff of the Home for Girls. According to the Ministry of Health, relevant tests were conducted following reports that a child and a staff member presented flu-like symptoms. The home has implemented all health protocols to ensure the health and well-being of the children and staff who reside and work on the compound. Parents and guardians and caregivers of the resident are being notified of the situation and the protocols in place, which include sanitization of the facility and the cessation of all external activities and visits to the compound. The Home for Girls continues to observe the Ministry of Health guidelines in order to protect themselves and others. In the same light, many primary schools across Trinidad have been shutting down due to the unexpected cases of COVID-19. According to an official release by the Ministry of Health on August 1st, the most recent primary school to shut down is one at Chaguanas. All SCA students, teachers and principals are asked to self-quarantine. And the Ministry of Health's latest update on COVID-19 cases, as at August 2nd, 2 additional persons have been tested positive for the ongoing virus. One is a primary contact of a recent positive COVID-19 patient, and the other is pending epidemiological investigation. All established protocols have been implemented. The number of samples submitted to CARPHA and UESIDE for testing stands at 8,514. Number of positive tested samples, 182. Number of persons discharged, 132. Number of deaths still stands at 8. The Ministry of Health reminds the public that they must adhere to the new normal recommendations and practice all health protocols. And in the political arena, the Progressive Democratic Patriots is expected to file a complaint to the Elections and Boundaries Commission. This after its logo appeared on posters in Tobago with a photo of the United National Congress leader Kamla Persad-Bissessar. The PDP said it has no affiliation with the UNC, nor is it a part of any unity arrangement with any other party, and the UNC is not contesting the Tobago East and West seats in the island. The PDP said it does not believe in the use of paper posters as it is bad for the environment and unsightly. Asked as to who is behind the act, the PDP said it is certain that the party has been littering Tobago with posters and is irresponsible. Four people were arrested over the weekend in separate incidents during a police exercise in the St. Joseph and Malabar area. The four persons are a 34-year-old man from Farm Road, St. Joseph, held for allegedly threatening the lives of a family that lives in the area, and the other three, who were between the ages of 19 and 55, were arrested for driving under the influence. They are all expected to appear before an Arima magistrate today. One person was issued a fixed penalty ticket for breaching the speed limit. The operation was held by a supervised team of officers. Similar operations are expected to take place this week as police maintain a heavy presence in the Northern Division in the lead-up to elections. Two non-TNT nationals were held in connection with a robbery of a supermarket along Eastern Main Road, Tacarigua, on Friday. The two men are identified as a 28-year-old Jamaican national from Pundit Street, San Juan, and a 26-year-old Venezuelan man of Sozano Street, Arima. According to reports, the officers received information from the public as it pertained to the robbery of a popular supermarket along the Eastern Main Road, Tacarigua, where an estimated $12,000 worth of alcohol beverages had been stolen on Thursday night and led them to detain the two men in connection with the theft. The suspects were questioned and are to be placed on ID parades today and will be charged if positively identified. This is the 8 a.m. news as we move across regionally to Brazil. According to the Brazil Health Ministry on Saturday, Brazil has recorded 45,392 additional confirmed cases of the novel coronavirus, as well as 1,088 deaths from the disease caused by the virus. Brazil has now registered more than 2.7 million cases of the virus since the pandemic began, while the official death toll has risen to 93,563 according to the ministry's data. And as we move across the world internationally in Vietnam, Vietnam reported 45 new coronavirus cases in the city of Da Nang on Friday, marking the country's biggest single-day jump in the COVID-19 cases. This caused the health ministry to send more health experts to the central city in a bid to combat the outbreak. The new patient, aged between 27 and 87, are linked to 3 hospitals and 2 clinics. According to the Health Ministry, Da Nang is known as the tourist hotspot, where Vietnam last week detected its first locally transmitted infections in more than 3 months. Vietnam started mass coronavirus testing in the capital and banned gatherings in its economic hub and urged tens of thousands of domestic travelers to report to authorities on Thursday as the country scrambled to contain the new spread of the virus. Overnight, the ministry sent a special task force of health experts along with more than 1,000 health workers to Da Nang to help handle the deteriorating situation. And on to the weather forecast. Today we'll experience showery spells which will interrupt sunny conditions in varying localities. Heavy showers or thunderstorms are expected in a few areas during the afternoon. Seas will be slight to moderate with waves 1.5 meters in open waters and less than 1 meter in sheltered areas. High tides at 4:35 p.m., low tides at 10:04 a.m. and 10:08 p.m. Sunset at 6:28 p.m. The current temperature is 28 degrees and expected to reach a high of 32 degrees as the day progresses. And that brings us to the end of the 8 a.m. news. Join us again at 10 a.m. for more news. And I take this opportunity to wish all the brothers of the nation Raksha Bandhan greetings, and to our very own Mr. Balkaran Gaya Prasad, Mr. Anand Rampasad Singh, Mr. Narayan Singh, and all the other hard-working brothers of U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio, from Irma and all the ladies of U97. I am Irma Ratan Singh, wishing you a good morning.
That was Major News to the Hour, brought to you by Crystal Beverages Company, Super Quality Supermarket, Sheikh Leisha Limited, and the Trinidad and Tobago News Day. A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited of 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo for all your hardware materials from foundation to finish. Not forgetting all your general contracting needs. We have it all at A&S Hardware and the General Contractors Limited, located at 107 Bonaventure Road in Gasparillo. Just call Tiki Ali at 650-2180.
A&S Hardware are wholesalers and retailers of plywood, an assortment of lumber, galvanized pipe, hollow section, and steel. Customers can enjoy special prices on white pine and pitch pine doors.
Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited, number 86 Pearville, opposite the TSTT Exchange in Mayaro. We specialize in all types of meats, dry goods, liqueur, beverages, ice, LPG, gas, motor oils, stationery supplies, and photocopying. We also provide rentals of tents and chairs for your every occasion. Come in and take advantage of our specials at reduced prices on liqueur, wholesale and retail. We are open every day, even on public holidays, for your convenience. TT Post services are available here at Kathy's Cool Spot Enterprises Limited of number 86 Pearville, Mayaro, where our friendly staff will be happy to serve you.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high quality unbleached bromate free all-purpose and baker's flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisha Limited 665-3336 or visit us at Warrenville, Canupia. Shiklisha Limited, quality you can trust.
The following is a paid political announcement.
This ad brought to you by the PNM.
For the love of we country.
August 10th. Vote PNM. Great is the PNM.
That was a paid political announcement.
You, 97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio will be bringing you coverage of Election Day 2020. Look out for live capsule reports throughout the day as you make your way to the polls. Then you can join our live panel discussion from 8 p.m. as we bring to you the election results. Exclusive on U97.5 FM.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Hello, I am Rajendra Rampersad, your PNM candidate for Couva South. I ask for your support to take Couva South into government and to improve the quality of life for all of us. I have specific plans to create jobs, develop our youths, improve agriculture, infrastructure, and security. As a person born in Dow Village, California, and started my education at Esperanza Presbyterian School, I want to use my years of experience as a successful businessman and a resident of Couva South to partner with you to make our communities better. I have been listening to your complaints of non-representation in Couva South. It is time for a change. I ask for your vote on August the 10th. Vote Rajendra Rampersad, the right choice for a better Couva South. Vote PNM.
We voting PNM. Anyway.
That was a paid political announcement.
Well, it's just about 16 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock, and let me remind you that time check came to you to the kind courtesy of Mr. Rajendra Rampersad, who is the People's National Movement candidate for the constituency of Couva South. Well, we have some other callers here on the line. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 97.5. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning, sir. Good morning.
I just want to say one thing.
Mm-hmm.
I heard a candidate down in Muruga telling the people down there to cultivate marijuana.
To cultivate marijuana. Go ahead.
And they will get export back. I wonder if that candidate has money to send these people when they plant when the police lock them up. I am not sure where this election thing is heading, but was that a call for to influence the people in Muruga to plant marijuana? I can understand the audacity of some of these people. Anyway, partners, you have a nice day.
All right, my friend. Well, thank you very much. Well, you see, sometimes politicians mount various platforms, and in order to encourage you to support them and vote for them, what comes out of their mouth sometimes utter rubbish, utter rubbish. Hello, good morning, and welcome to 975. Good morning.
Morning again, Mr. Kennedy.
Hi, good morning to you, sir. What's happening? Good morning.
I'm alive and good to be in Trinidad. Because I've seen what's going on in Italy. So I think it's Italy. I saw the Italy Minister of Health on television. But you look at Mexico and Latin America, Mexico is going crazy.
Oh, you're talking about the COVID-19, yes, the pandemic?
Yes, we still thinking and not taking this thing very seriously. And Kamala Prasad telling me she's going to create 50,000 new jobs. In which economy? They're telling us yesterday that the whole Latin America economy has gone back 10 years, lost 9% of GDP. So the economy has dropped back 10 years back in time. Just like what she did to us in 2010 to 2015 at Caribbean, back 20 years. Because we don't have a highway already that we're now going to try to finish. And I don't understand where it is this lady wants to take us. After looking what's going on globally, I hear the gentleman talking about farming. These same land was given to people for farming. Under Kamala Prasad Society, they allow the people to sell the same land. Today, she's telling us how she's going to bring people back to do the same farming. Mr. Manning tried the mechanized farming, and they tell him, no, Mr. Manning was going mad. And let me draw a point.
No. Let me add to this. You see, people have a tendency to paint me in all sort of ways and describe me in all sort of ways. But that's all right. That's all right. I find it very ridiculous and to be quite hypocritical indeed for the opposition leader to talk about, trying to address the issues of ex-Caroni workers when she returns to office. To me,
was there for 5 years, and that makes up your largest percentage of voters, and you didn't see about them. So if you didn't see about them, you go see on me, who not support. And a gentleman say, I hear a man criticize what the Prime Minister said about how he's going to give the people of La Hoqueta and what he's going to try to do. And we talk about Waterfield. What we have to understand, what Crash Waterfield? You have to know the history, What Crash Waterfield is that we changed election. We came into a recession. After Dr. Egg William died and Chambers took over, Robinson took over, we started to pay VAT. People started to jump on plane and go Canada. Not so? Half the farmers who have the farms that are abandoned, ask where the owners are. They went to Canada because we had reached into what we consider a recession at the time. Not so? This is a different time. This is a time where we had to import everything. And if that didn't happen, half the millionaires around Trinidad who selling this and selling that and is imported, they don't make nothing here. By that happening, the farmers not farming and those farms closed down, we create multi-millionaire businessmen by importing and selling. So now is the time where we can't import because here we're going on. If there's nobody to work outside there, you can't get the same milk that we had to bring to make the same milk powder here. So we have to start to produce our own thing here in order to survive.
All right.
Enjoy.
Okay, but thank you very much for your contribution here with me this morning. Well, my colleague Nicole has joined me on the conversation here this morning. And Nicole, I would imagine, would have had a very hectic weekend. Not only trying to find out what is happening in her constituency, more so on the east-west corridor. And certainly there would have been some challenges facing people in Greenvale and in the constituency of La Hoqueta Talparo as it relates to that downpour yesterday. But we'll talk a bit later about that. Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Good morning, Ken.
Hi, good morning, Brian. What's happening, my friend? What's happening?
I'm good. Just a little physically tired, but I'm good. And I believe Nicole is there, so good morning to Nicole as well.
Brian?
Yes.
Brian, I didn't see you on Saturday. I want to know what's happening.
Where were you on Saturday?
I was around.
I was at a very...
I was in the urban area with... I went to check out what was happening with the candidate in that area on Saturday.
Well, I'm very much involved in what's happening in Sangre Grande and the Comoto Manfrero seat.
Right.
So Saturday we had a massive motorcade where the political leaders.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, so I was there. I am very much involved in what's happening up on that side, as well as with St. Joseph.
But how is it looking on that side, Brian?
Well, that's good. Everything is looking good.
Well, you say everything is looking good, Brian, but the media houses, some mainstream media houses, publishing polls and saying that the People's National Movement is ahead. Your thoughts?
That's fine. In the Barataya by-election, they said the PNM was ahead. We won. For the local election in 2019, they said the PNM will win the majority of the corporation, which was not true. We won the Sangre Grande Regional Corporation. And we also won more seats than the PNM.
Oh, so you ignore the poll, yes?
The only poll that I will deal with is the poll of election day. Right? Because even when you look at these pollsters, look at who are the pollsters. They have ever said anything different? Have they ever said that the PNM is behind? No.
All right, but let's move on to our conversation here, Brian. COVID-19. 182 cases reported thus far. We are hearing this morning that 2 additional cases, and the Irie, I think it's the Irie Primary School, Irie Village Primary School in South Trinidad have been ordered closed for sanitization and so on.
Yes.
And my understanding, it's a situation that is gripping the nation now. And I made a call this morning that maybe it's about time that the government of the day mandate people to wear masks in the public. If not, you can be charged. I mean, we have to be very serious about what's going on, Brian. After the election of next week, we all have to live in Trinidad and Tobago,
Well, I would agree that we have to look at all measures in place,
Mm-hmm.
right? It is not by law mandatory to wear a mask,
No.
right? It's not by law. Okay, and any country that has COVID-19, which is all, there is no law in masks. None. No country at all. And I challenge anyone to tell me which country has where you must wear a mask. It is all up to the individual. No. I have been seeing a lot of people where I have my mask right now in my pocket. We all wear our mask,
Yes.
right? Outside of that, we must also look at what the government is doing. In that, the government boasted that they had so many things put in place to prevent community spread. Yet now, look at what has happened.
Well, it still has not been determined by the chief medical officer whether it's community spread or not, you know.
Sporadic, he's saying sporadic spread, yeah.
Well, what is for, you see, Trinidad and Tobago doesn't live under a dome, right? We don't live under a dome. And if you look at international news, I've never heard about this term sporadic infection or whatever that word is. In the U.S.
But why would you want to frighten the population and saying it's community spread?
But there's nothing with frightening.
Uh-huh.
But the government of today, they need to come out and say what is really going on, right? Because how all of a sudden, look where these new COVID cases are coming up. La Hoqueta, Sangre Grande, Tunapuna, St. Joseph. How all of a sudden it's in those areas? Why only there? I mean, these are things that need to be looked at.
So are you saying that the government of the day, they are withholding information deliberately?
Well, let them come out and let's see what is going on.
All right, Brian. Well, let's leave it there for you. Thank you very much for your contribution here with us this morning. It's just about 25 minutes here past the hour of 8 o'clock. Time check, courtesy Mr. Rajendra Rampasad, who is the People's National Movement candidate for the constituency of Couva South. Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Morning. That young man right to the mind.
Say that, my friend.
Is that young man right to the mind?
Well,
who just spoke to you just now? Now he can't be normal. Well, international, Ms. Dookie, glad to be here.
Good
morning. You know that when you're charged 105 pounds for not wearing a mask in public? So which party he live in? That is why the UNC going around with this rhetoric. If they get into office, we dead. Because if you have a man like that who representing people and telling we, I think Italy and all is mandatory. If you go out without your mask, you are charged and you could be arrested because of how. Here one of the questions with this thing with the droplets. Here the question, and you know, our former Prime Minister said to us that sun is going to help the COVID. Last night, looking at what they call the international health body, saying here what's going on.
World Health Organization.
Right. In those countries that are now cold, where the climate is now changing, where they call it summer, whatever, where the sun is getting hot, all you look out, because it seems as though the hotter the sun gets, more this thing could affect us. You understand what I'm saying? And this man come and tell me this, partner.
No, but thank you very much. I have said on many occasions on this program that we should not use COVID-19 as a political football. Do not try to score cheap political points given the situation which we are operating in. We all have to live here after the 10th of this month, you know. So we have to look at this thing very, very seriously indeed. Thus far, we have about 182. Some people are saying 183 cases. A number of schools would have shut their doors. We've had police stations and fire stations being sanitized and so on. So it's a very, very serious matter indeed. So let's don't make this out to be any sort of a political issue. It's not a political issue. It's a national issue. Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
I don't think Brian is absolutely correct. I think there are some countries which are taking more drastic measures now in terms of putting into place laws to deal with not refusing to wear masks. I am thankful that the EBC has come out and made a public announcement as to how things will happen at the polling station. And I am thankful that Kamala Prasad Biswas has urged her constituents, supporters, to wear masks when they go to the polling station. Right? I don't think that the government or any agency should be providing masks. I think four things you need to work with on election day is your ID card, your poll card, your mask, and vex money if somebody vex with you. You understand? Now, having said that, let me look at SEA. I think if they had gone with Twitter's original plan to have the exams in October, that would have been more fruitful. Now, I know that it put a lot of stress on the children or whatever, but the only other way to solve that problem is to use marks over a given period, whether it's a 2-year or 3-year period, and promote the children. That if you can't do the exams, that's the only other solution I could think of.
No, well, I agree with the Prime Minister, when he spoke on Sunday about this matter. He said, look, based on the figures in front of us, and we just have to look at what is happening from now until the next couple of weeks to make a determination. But as of now, the date for the exam stays.
Well, the Ministry of Education, the Minister of Education will actually be meeting with stakeholders at 9 o'clock this morning in an emergency meeting to discuss the way forward.
Because if you report
whether the exam is on, whether the exams is off, the situation with the parents and so on, so it's up in the air. It's in a limbo, so to speak.
Let me see what will come out of those stakeholders meeting today. So that everybody could be put at ease.
All right, my friend.
And I hear CPL people coming in tonight.
Yeah, well, they ought to, because CPL started on the 18th. And today, what is the 3rd? So, But that's a different issue altogether. And I want to, look, people may take issue with me because I'm a cricket fan.
Me too.
But they should not use this as I said, a political football.
No, I agree. I agree.
Look, CPL, the country needs revenue. CPL is a private entity trying to provide some sort of a revenue to the government of Trinidad and Tobago. And the government in this respect is stating to CPL, well, there will be no spectators.
Right.
The players will not be allowed to mix and mingle with the national population.
Just like they did with the West Indies, England.
Right. They'll be playing in a bubble. So I don't understand when the opposition talk about, you're bringing in CPL players, but you're leaving your nationals abroad. And some people talking about thousands and thousands of people abroad. And the Prime Minister would have clarified. He said, look, while there may have been 10,000 people wanting to come home, it's only 5,000 people who would have take the opportunity to apply for exemption.
Yeah, not everybody good. I don't know. But the whole situation is that CPL is something separate and apart. And we will just have to listen and watch the games on wherever. And we will have to do our data analysis, right, Kendrick?
Well, it's a new normal. It's a new normal. You have to live with it.
Yes.
According to a friend of mine, whenever you go anywhere, you know how to sanitize yourself.
All right, finally.
Yeah.
Greenville. Some people say it had flooding, some people say it didn't have.
There was actually flooding in Greenville.
I will let Nicole deal with that.
Yes, there was actually flooding in Greenville.
But no evacuation.
Residents were actually being evacuated. Residents were in panic. However, the HGC is saying otherwise. But there was a Facebook Live that was actually done by a police officer from the area. And a lot of persons are saying it's fake. But the thing is how could you justify a Facebook Live being fake? As a matter of fact, we're going to be chatting with this police officer in a little bit. Kenrick?
Yes, of course.
You know why I asked this question?
Yes.
Because another person on another station, a PNM Sycophant,
yes,
say that there was no flooding and
there
people
was flooding.
Fake news.
Yeah, but there are graphic photographs published.
We actually have videos on our YouTube, on our U97.5 Facebook page of flooding in La Joquita, and there are photos of the cleanup efforts that took place after.
I actually heard a gentleman on TV6 say last night, yes, it had flooding. We can't blame PNM. We can't blame UNC. But I still casting my vote for XYZ. You understand?
All right, well, we hear you. Yes. All right. Let's take this caller before we go to some commercials. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Morning, Kenrick. This is your boy.
Yeah, good morning. What's happening? Oh, my Lord. But you forget me, boy?
No, boy. Listen to me.
No, man. You forget me. I take it seriously with that.
No, listen to me. No, we had a make-up. Listen, I listened this morning, and I was trying to get in, but the landline giving me trouble, but your cell number this morning I'm trying to get in.
What's happening? What's happening, my friend?
Yeah, right. No, I just want to correct Brian a little bit, because you know I live on the East-West corridor.
Yes.
Brian just told us that the UNC won more electoral districts in the local government election. But let me give him the correct data. There were 139 electoral districts. The PNM won 74, and the UNC 65. As a former teacher, when you add that, you get 139.
Yes. So
don't know.
Brian is misleading me this morning.
Yes, he's misleading you. And let me also say that I have a comment to make with respect to the polls, right? And the comment to make I have with respect to the COVID-19. While I agree with you, Kenrick, that it is not a political affair, why it becomes a political affair, when it becomes a matter with leadership. You have one leader who is demonstrating that leader is following the advice of the medical experts and the scientists. And you have another leader that is ignoring that. That other leader is telling us open the borders. That other leader is telling us that we must do things contrary to the medical experts. And we have Dr. Fauci, who is the leading person in infectious disease in the world, telling us that we have to do things consistent with the scientists. And that is the reason why I say it is not a political issue, but it's an issue of leadership and who you listen to protect and save your life.
All right, Mr. Davidi, before you go this morning, in the lead up to the 2015 general election, you and I would have had a number of conversations, yes?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Man.
And I would have missed your contribution on the program. But you would have called it correct in 2015, 1 week before polling day. Call it for me, my friend.
Well, I want to tell you that being like yourself, understanding sport, I don't venture to call those things. But one of the things I agree with Brian, that the real matter is going to be on election day. You see that poll? It's going to be the most critical thing. I am not going to venture into calling it, but all I do know is that there seems to be, in my view, a movement towards the PNM. And in Tunapuna in particular, when you look at that movement in Tunapuna, I believe that movement will have a swing across the marginal constituencies. And that swing most likely will go to the People's National Movement.
But one of your favorite persons is contesting for the United National Congress, David Naked.
Well, favorite in the sense that I was his manager on the national team.
Yeah. I know exactly, my friend, I know exactly who you are now,
I know. And I was his manager. So I would imagine that I wouldn't say anything disparaging, but what I will say is that Esmond Ford is a far better candidate, far better. And why he is far better is that you cannot come to a constituency in 3 weeks and become the representative. He has been there for 23 days, just 2 days plus 24. Esmond has been there for more than 40 years, born and bred, born on Fairley Street, delivered all himself, his life and his family and everything in Fairley Street, and also served as the vice chairman of the Tunapuna Piarco Regional Corporation, and now has gone up to be the candidate for the People's National Movement. And more importantly, I know we don't believe in polls, we sort of trade them aside, but the NACTA poll said he was the number one person when it comes to likability, and the number one member of parliament across the board. That's the NACTA poll talking about Esmond Ford. And so I think that by and large, Naked is not the person who could represent Tunapuna because he doesn't know Tunapuna. If you have Naked, where is first trace, second trace? If you have Naked, where is the zone? If you have Naked, so many places. Esmond is born and bred there. He knows everything about the Tunapuna people. And I think that the Tunapuna people are wise enough to understand that if you want somebody to truly represent the people of Tunapuna, you must know Tunapuna well. You must know the families. You must know their needs. You must have spent enough time. 23 days is not enough to know and understand the people of Tunapuna. And that is why I give Esmond Ford the big leap in terms of that.
Right.
And let me close by making this point. And you know as well, Naked is far too controversial to be a politician. You heard what the Commissioner of Police said.
Yes.
When Naked himself said that the police is the enemy. Could you get somebody coming from to represent Tunapuna telling the people of Tunapuna that the police is the enemy when the police is there to provide law and order?
All right.
So, Kenrick, thanks for
hold on before you go. I just want to use this, and no pun intended. So you're not taking any chance with Naked?
No chance with Naked. No, in Tunapuna, we're telling him the song in Tunapuna is naked you come, naked you go.
All right, my friend. All right, thank you very much. Hello, good
I'm
morning.
sorry,
I'm
your
sorry,
number-
my friend. I'm sorry too. Nicole, we need to take a
Yes,
commercial break
we
at this
do.
time because we have to get this gentleman on the line with us this morning.
Yes.
Okay. We're going to touch base with Thaddeus Caraballo.
Yes.
That's his name.
Yes.
A police officer, and of course, Nicole will engage him in conversation this morning. Folks, stay with us here. 975 FM, Hot Like Pepper. When I come back, we'll continue with our discussion. Stay with us.
Electrical Supplies Limited of Southern Main Road, Canupia, for all your plumbing and electrical supplies, water heaters, filters and water pumps, plus all parts for Gould, Pentax and Leo pumps. Choose from leading brands such as Cooper, Varma, BTCino, Leviton and General Electric. Call 665-6954 for more information. KY's Electrical Supplies Limited of Southern Main Road, Canupia.
Let's talk Guyana. Join me, Umaratan Singh, as I bring you news, updates, information, culture, and traditions of Guyana. Let's talk Guyana, Mondays to Thursdays, just after the 10 a.m. news headlines on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio.
U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio is now on Facebook. Like us, follow and share our page. We'll be sharing the latest news, tips and much more. You can also view what's happening in our studio. Find us on YouTube and subscribe to our channel at RCL U975.
KY's Electrical Supplies Limited of Southern Main Road, Canupia, for all your plumbing and electrical supplies, water heaters, filters and water pumps, plus all parts for Gould, Pentax and Leo pumps. Choose from leading brands such as Cooper, Varma, BTCino, Leviton and General Electric. Call 665-6954 for more information. KY's Electrical Supplies Limited of Southern Main Road, Canupia.
U97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio will be bringing you coverage of Election Day 2020. Look out for live capsule reports throughout the day as you make your way to the polls. Then you can join our live panel discussion from 8 p.m. as we bring to you the election results. Exclusive on U97.5 FM.
Yes, indeed, and welcome back to 975 FM Hot Like Pepper. Just about 20 minutes here to the hour of 9 o'clock. And that time check came to you through the kind courtesy of Mr. Rajendra Rampasad, who is the People's National Movement candidate for the constituency of Couva South. Well, with me on the line this morning is Mr. Thaddeus Caraballo, who back in 2018 would have received a national award from the government of Trinidad and Tobago for the work he would have done in bringing some sort of relief measures to people in the La Joquita, Talparo area, more so in the Greenville area, who would have been impacted negatively with flooding. That's in 2018. Well, yesterday, according to all reports, there would have been quote-unquote massive flooding in the constituency, or rather in the jurisdiction of Greenville. And Mr. Caraballo would have posted some videos depicting the debacle, so to speak, of course. Well, he's with us on the line this morning, and he's taking serious issue with the Housing Development Corporation for refuting some of the claims that he would have made, or for actually posting those videos on social media. Let's say a very good morning to him. Good morning, Mr. Caraballo, and thanks for taking our call this morning. Walk us through what would have transpired yesterday in your constituency.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
Yesterday in the La Joquita district, there was some very heavy rainfall that lasted approximately 15 minutes or so. And there was massive flooding in this area, starting from La Joquita to Greenville, right? On my way to Greenville, because we know Greenville is an area that constantly plagued with flooding issues. So it's our job to respond, to render aid to persons. We are normally the first responders to almost anything.
Well, when you say we, what organization do you belong to?
Oh, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service.
Okay, right, fine. I just wanted you to clear that up with us this morning. Okay, so go ahead, continue.
Yeah, sure. En route to the Greenville area, the water started rising very, very quickly. Going through certain roads, that's through the back of La Hogata, where AGC created an evacuation path, right? That in itself is something, to me, my personal opinion, it's traumatic looking at the signs, because I reside in Greenville as well. So even the signs are somewhat traumatic to me. I can't speak for the rest of the residents, but it's traumatic to me to know that you live in an area where signs by a corporation are posted where you need to evacuate. You would normally see these signs in like an ammonia plant or a place that's dangerous, right? So that in itself is something traumatic to me.
But
anyway,
but in the process yesterday with all this flooding, were people being asked to evacuate by, let's say, any one of the national agencies?
No. As I said, we were the first and only responders at the time of the high levels of water in the roadway. So most of the roads there were almost impassable, right? There was like about 2 feet of water in different roads. Rydale Avenue was seriously affected, right? And there was water in a number of yards. A number of residents also posted videos and pictures of the flooding that took place in Greenville. So whatever agency is saying, I would say it's definitely not the truth, right? There's no way on earth. I don't think it's possible for someone to edit a live Facebook video, right? And I had posted videos live on Facebook. The purpose of posting those videos, a lot of my neighbors are my friends on Facebook. So the reason for the video was alerting persons to the situation, right? And having persons find the best possible route.
So it's not really to create, let's say, a panic or a bad image of what was happening in Greenville. In essence, your objective there was to post these videos to alert people as to what is happening within the community. But in this respect, you are taking serious issue with the Housing Development Corporation for refuting your claims as posted on social media, yes?
Exactly. I am very much hurt. I'm a lot of different things, very different emotions going through my mind right now. I'm insulted. I'm very much insulted by AGC, because AGC is aware of our situation. The evidence is there. It was not an attack on AGC at all. Matter of fact, I did other lives where I stated that as fast as the water came into Greenville, as fast as the levels rose, it's in similar fashion the water receded in a couple of minutes.
Well, that's a media report, because the flood waters would have stayed within the community for about 15 or 20 minutes, so, and then it started receding.
Exactly.
Yeah, continue. Go ahead.
So I did mention that the drainage work and stuff that was done within the last year or so, since the 2018 floods, there was massive drenching of the rivers and that sort of thing, and I think different works that was done with the pump station and that sort of thing. So those things appeared to have been in effect, right? I cannot say whether the pump was working or not, but it seemed to be working. And I did give whoever is responsible, whether it's AGC or not, I did give them kudos for the fact that, yes, the water rose to a very frightening level, but the water receded just as fast.
But
we the residents are very thankful for that. But the thing is, yes.
Your contention here is that you feel pained and aggrieved by the claims being made by HDC, knowing that you would have done so with the view of helping the people understand exactly what is taking place within the community. Yes?
Exactly, because whilst I was doing the live, I was actually going through the water because I was in a very high vehicle, right? So I was going through the water. The water was very high up on the vehicle. I really took a chance. I hope that the boss not listening right now. I took a chance with the vehicle going through the water because it was a type of situation where persons in the triangle area, that is where the townhouses are, that was the area that was most affected.
All right? Mr. Carabello, we're running out of time. Yeah, we're running out of time, but you said you feel hurt and you feel disappointed by the response coming from the authorities, more so the housing, the HDC. What sort of action are you contemplating as of now?
Well, to me, I felt the claims were preposterous, to say the least. I felt it was defamatory because all over social media now, persons are saying a lot of things. The residents are coming to my defense, and they are saying that it did occur. There was flooding, there was evacuation. Scores of people left the area to secure their most prized possession at the moment, which is their vehicle, because people don't really have much things in Greenville still at the moment, still recovering from 2018. And to me, I think that I may be seeking legal advice in the entire situation, because I'm feeling terrible at the moment, because I've been looking at all the comments and all the things that coming my way, and it's all because of what AJC posted.
All right, Mr.
And I simply ask for an apology.
All right, Mr. Carabello, my colleague Nicole, whom you know pretty well, has a question for you.
Okay.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
So, quickly, so you asked for an apology from the AGC, and you're speaking about legal advice. My question is, should they reach out to you, would you have a change of heart?
Of course I will. Of course I will. And the same way that they posted something, and the same way that they're deleting all the comments from the residents on their page, they're actually deleting comments from the residents. I would wish if they would post that yes, there was flooding, yes, some of the residents did evacuate, having been guided by police officers. Not myself only, there were other units in the Greenville area where scores of vehicles were evacuating the area. We were guiding them through particular routes because the routes outlined by AGC was impassable. So I guided persons to the La Joqueta Trace area where the road there was clear. So if it is that AGC does anything like this, I will feel pretty good about it. And I would rest assured that they have our best interests at hand.
All right, Mr. Carabello, we want to thank you very much for taking the time off in talking to us this morning.
Bringing some light into the situation.
And thank you very much for being what you call an astute citizen.
One more thing, sir. No time is very limited, but I'd also like the listeners to know that I've been soaking wet for the entire day yesterday. That clothes dried on me, and I'm still on active duty.
All right, my friend. Well, thank you very much.
It's a pleasure being with you. Take care, guys. Be safe out there. COVID-19. Wear your mask. Wash your hands.
All right. Well, thank you very much. The voice there of Mr. Thaddeus Carabello. Most people in the Greenville community would know the gentleman. He would have received an award, Nicole, in 2018 for the work he would have done to assist people in that community.
Exactly. And he himself had been a victim of that flood, and he, made sure that his neighbors were all, while securing himself and his family, he made sure that his neighbors were also well secured as well. So
a patriot
kudos,
indeed. A patriot indeed. Let's take this call on the line. Hello, good morning. Welcome to 97.5. Good morning.
Morning, Derek. I'll get through this morning.
No, you see, I make time for you this morning. Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. I stay long. I just want to tell Brian. I find that the political leader of the UNC, like anytime she feels she will lose her seat, she go in and get a set of people to campaign and drive through the area. I wonder if that's time to come that she's not doing good in this constituency. I'll let Brian explain that to me later, partner.
All right, well, as I said, Brian is not the spokesperson for the United National Congress. He's just the coordinator for the Northeast region.
Yes.
Anyway, Nicole, we had a very hectic program indeed. I was trying to get in touch with Michelle Benjamin, but thus far I would have failed. Tomorrow, of course, I'll be hosting the President General of the Old Trinidad General Workers Trade Union from just about 7:30. So if we do have candidates lined up, we'll have to try to fit them in between that time.
Well,
yes?
we were supposed to have the People's National Movement candidate for Rima, Miss Penelope Beckles-Robinson. But we can probably try to fit her in. If not, we may have to reschedule until Wednesday.
Note, folks, 1 week again
7
for polling day. And despite all of that, be very careful outside there, people.
Yes, the threat of COVID-19 is very, very real right now.
A number of schools would have shut down already, closed
11
doors.
so far. I'm seeing 11 on my list.
11. And it's all over the country, eh?
Yes.
Not only singling out one community, but it's all over.
Kenrica is actually considering camping out in studio here because I don't want to.
Really? All right. Folks, take care of yourself. We are out of here. I'm inviting you to join us again tomorrow just after the 6 o'clock hour, where we'll do this all over again. Take care, people. Let's go to some commercials. And up next is the Bees Hi-Fi, who will be taking you until the hour of 12 noon with some beautiful music from our studio here in Couva in central Trinidad. Good morning, people. Take care of yourself. I am Kenrick Dragonaut.
And I am Nicole Dukey.
Good morning.
Visit Eddie's Pharmacies Limited newest location inside JTA Supermarket, C3 Center, Current Village, San Fernando. They offer blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, and pregnancy testing, as well as all pharmaceutical products and over-the-counter drugs, along with CDAP prescriptions. Sagicor Caricare International Medical Card, Guardian Life Provider Card, and Republic Bank points are all accepted